Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Y'all are brewheads? Yeah, we brewheads. So pour a glass of craft beer, we can do this. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? This is C Certified Brewhead, and welcome to episode 94 of Beer and Others, the podcast Adjunct series. This is something a bit different. If you're watching, the screen kind of looks a bit different. This is the most guests we've ever had on the pod before, and I'm super excited because this is we're going to be celebrating a large project that a whole bunch of us like. What was I going to say? I was going to qualify us as beer me, but a whole bunch of friends in the craft beer scene. We all put together this project. We're super proud of it, and you know what? We made it work to get everybody on the call at once. So I'm going to bring everybody in one at a time. First of all, we have Matt from Vox Hops. If you can, oh look at that, boom! Matty's in the building. He's sex god.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, bro? What up? What up? Welcome. We're back. We're back this time. No falls. Next, we have Noah Forrest from Beerism in the building. Where is he? Hello. There he is. Look at you.
Gorgeous bastard.
Yes,
What up? What up? We have, for the first time ever, we have Gab from Hoppy Bitch holding it down. There she is. What up?
Salut.
Are you going to speak English or French tonight? We didn't even talk about that.
I will try to speak English.
We could go to a bit of French if
Matt
you need
will
to.
help me.
No problem.
Yay.
We have Max from Brasserie Urbaine back again. There he is. Welcome, sir. We have the two 30-year-olds here. Love it. Love to see it.
Hello there.
What up, brother? Welcome. And finally, we have Uncle Kevin from La Canette, the finest retailers of craft beer in the entire province. Third time back. What up, Pin? Oh, what's his or her name? Oh, Kevin's like, fuck you, I'm out.
Oh, sorry. It's Grizzly. Yeah.
Grizzly?
Yeah.
What a cutie. Welcome, guys. Thank you all for hanging out, and for Matt for helping me figure out this 6-person business. It's a whole new thing. So if everyone who are watching or listening, by the time this comes out, they must have seen all of our, profile pictures as cartoons and all of our ridiculous videos and incessant promo of something that we've done together, which obviously is the entire point. Tonight we're going to be talking about c'est juste de la bière, because I was writing down the names that are c'est juste. A collab that we did with the 4 content creators and beer media alongside Kev from La Canette and Max at BrewHeads, making it all happen. So I'm stoked. I actually have not. I think I'm probably the only one here who hasn't tried the beers. You haven't either?
I haven't tasted a beer yet.
Okay.
Oh shit.
And yeah, I'm excited, bro. I think it's more fun to do this stuff. I want to do it and look you all in the eye as close as possible, So we're going to get into the details, but obviously we're not going to sit here thirsty while we're explaining it. So we're going to kick off with my collab with the squad, which is a Moteca dry hopped Pilsner with my stupid face on the can and all those other sexual faces right there. So Max, let's talk about this beer, bro. I guess it came about, I wanted to do a crispy. I'm a big fan of crispies. When we were discussing which beers or what styles we wanted to do, obviously we're going to talk about that shortly, about it being more on the traditional side of things. And I definitely wanted a Pilsner, which probably was the most annoying one for you, Max, because it needs 6 weeks as opposed to 2, which everyone else's did.
Yeah, but it totally worth it. It's so good, so refreshing, it's so crisp.
Oh yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, when we about this project, we discuss. I discussed with each one of you personally to see how you imagine the beer, how do you taste it, like how do you wanted it. So about Craig, it was a hoppy Pilsner made with the Moreau hops. So in this beer, we wanted to taste the grain. We wanted to keep it like on the cereal side, the crispy thing. But the Motueka is outside for the bitterness and for the aromas. So it's basically just a simple hoppy pills made with Motueka. So we just keep it simple, straightforward.
I love it. I asked you for a, I wanted to do something like Pilsner Raquel, I remember specifically. Something really sort of traditional. And I really love what you guys do with all your crispies.
Yeah, thanks.
Which is always phenomenal. And I've got to give the credit to Kev. Kev did suggest Motueka. And I know I never want to give Kevin credit, but we got to do what we got to do.
But
Yeah, we're supposed to be
for the
insulting
win,
each
man.
other.
Sorry, Kev?
I said Motueka for the win, man.
For the win.
Yeah.
So as soon as I cracked the can, I could smell it. Well, first of all, guys, pleasure to see all your faces. Get it in you.
Cheers.
Cheers, kids.
Oh, Gab already had yours. Oh,
So
wow.
you haven't tasted yet. So it's the first time. Right here, right now. Oh shit. Nice.
Right. All 4 of them. I kept them all. I wanted to hear all you guys talk about it while we're doing it. This is fantastic. So
Super hot bite. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, it's only 4.5. That's nice and light. Is that kind of more what like Pilsner Raquel would be around that kind of ABV? Like, why did it end up at 4.5 as opposed to say 5 or whatever?
I imagine Pilsner Raquel is 5%, if
It
my
is.
memory serves me correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why was it 4.5 instead of 5?
Yeah, it's just because of the initial gravity. I just shoot for a lower initial gravity, so it finished drier, and you've got that light body, but with a good mouthfeel. So it's just I like it. It's
Yeah.
between 4 and 5.
I'm with it, bro.
When you go up with like 5 or 6% alcohol, the beer became a little bit heavier.
Okay.
But this time I just keep it on the lower side.
Max, how well do your lagers sell, can wise and stuff like that, or is it IPAs that everyone wants to buy, or do they do pretty well?
I know they does a massive amount of Kamem Clean there. I know it's a huge seller for you guys. Yeah.
Actually, with our lagers, we just did recently like the Exode Urbaine. We don't see it. It's like
Yeah, it's good.
okay.
There it is.
Yeah, and we did Kamem Clean for the past year, a little bit more. And with the lagers, we won't fill that big fermenter we got. It's like 4,000 liters. So we just keep it for the lagers. So for us, it allows us to have to produce it and to sell it to a more friendly price. So accessibility and drinkability is the mission with those lagers, and actually they are selling pretty well. I think Kamem Clean was the biggest selling beer we got last summer, so
Shit.
it fulfilled its mission. And this year we want to create another lager, Exode Urbaine, which is more on the European style, and we will do another one more like an Italian Pilsner in the next months. So it will be back to back lagers for that big fermenter.
Amazing. I was very stoked to get Kamem Clean at Brutal Montreal, and I saw a bunch of metalheads crushing them and enjoying them to the fullest the whole night.
That's awesome. It's killer. The other one as well, I know we're talking about this project, but the ones that you just released on Valentine's Day, the collab with Kanawaki was insane. A dark IPL. I'd never seen anything like that before.
Yeah,
that was
good too.
So fantastic, man. I really, really love that beer and the innovation behind it. And we're a team innovation here. You know the vibes.
What I really like about
Yeah, go ahead. No, go please.
So what I really like about this beer is, or what I find different about it than a lot of the other hoppy pilsners or IPLs or whatever is in so many ways it feels like a bitter, a slightly augmented bitter pills, but then it just has that like slight fruity aura to it, but it doesn't come off like an IPL. It still drinks like a Pilsner, you know what I mean? Like it's unique in that.
When I first heard about what you were going to do, Craig, for this project, my first thought was, oh, crisp topsy type of approach, you know, a hoppy new world Pilsner, but it's completely different. It's way less flowery, way less melon. It's much more bitter on the tongue. It's like super enjoyable in a completely different way, much drier.
The dryness is amazing and make it like a super crispy boy. Like you would crush it and I would crush it again anytime because of that dryness to it. You know, you take a sip and you're just like, I need another sip because you didn't feel like you just drank a beer, you know? So it's just like, okay, again, and then
the inception of beer.
Right. The inception. I love it. Gab, I know you had it this week. What did you think?
I'm not sure I can't answer, but I will try. Okay. We're talking about your beer, is it?
Yes.
Okay, the Motueka pills. Well, I really think I really love the Motueka, the hop. I don't remember having tasting that up before, but probably I do, but just don't remember. I was very surprised when I cracked the can. The odor was like, oh wow, okay, it's so cool, and I really love it because the floral, floral, c'est comme plus floral un peu que fruity. For me, it was more floral than fruity. So that's the most I can say in English about a beer.
Basically, it's almost like a smash, like almost like 100% Pilsner malt and 100% Motueka hops. So you taste the bitterness that the Motueka gives, and the aromas at every step, even with a small dry hop, but it's like 100% Motueka hop, so you kind of feel it 100%.
Okay, so you use it as a bittering hop and as a finishing hop? Okay.
Sick. Yeah. I love it. Go.
Okay. Would you use Motueka again in any other beer?
Yeah, of course, because with this beer, we just, it's like if I discover these hops, and mostly it's used in the New England IPAs and double IPAs, which is blended with more sweetness and more known hops like Citra, Mosaic, and that kind of stuff. But to have it in a single hop beer like this, you just feel the experience 100%, and I will totally use it in other styles and other beers.
Cool.
To come back to something that Matt was saying before, about you expected like the crisp topsy, like a more new world thing. The concept, and we'll touch on this, is we were all trying to do traditional sort of styles with a bit of a twist. So I wanted to, I talked about here a lot, but I've been really getting into crispies over the last couple of years, like passionately so. And I specifically asked Max to do a more Pilsner Urquell, and I kind of just, we didn't talk about grain bills or anything, Max. I don't think. I think we would, or did we? I can't remember.
Yeah, we did, but
we did.
I think like with the example you gave me, it was pretty simple. So not much, playground there. It was more like about the brewing process and how we saw the product.
Right.
So it's basically just normal. It's just a longer boil and that gives aromas and which yeast. So
yeah, no, it's and you nailed it perfectly. It's exactly kind of what I wanted, and I think that the New World hop gives a really nice sort of complement to the beer that has more of that traditional body, and it sort of drinks more like a traditional like pills. So I think it was like, this is exactly what we intended. This is phenomenal. Like the old meets new, the little twist of the new, and I know it's brilliant, man. I'm really happy with it. So this is fantastic. So then let's give people a bit more of an idea about the project now we've sort of gotten the first beer out the way. So if we can just go around, like, how did it all start? How did all this come together? Because this is this is a lot of us working together to figure stuff out.
I'll take it from the top there. I am a person that has lots of ideas. Sometimes those ideas come to fruition. It typically goes through like a filter before I bring it to fruition, before I even pitch the idea. I typically pitch it to Jessica, my wife. She's the producer of the podcast, and we've been together forever. She always helps me think things through. Having been from the outside of the beer industry, being a musician, I see a lot of similarities between the craft beer industry and the music industry, hence why the podcast exists and why it works. And it's for good and for bad, there's good things that happen in the music industry, there's bad things that happen in the music industry, there's good things that happen in the beer industry. It's the yin and the yang. So I pitched an idea that I had in my mind to Jessica. She approved it. And then my subsequent, always second pitcher that I always pitch my collab ideas to before I pitched them to breweries is Kevin. So La Canette is really exactly on the way home from the metro to my house. So I stop there frequently, and Kevin knows either I'm saying I'm really tired, especially when I was doing Brutal North America, I was like, I'm fucking tired. And then more recently, I just pitch ideas to him. And before heading to BG for their 8th anniversary, I had this idea in my mind of doing a beer collab about the toxic beer industry, beer scene, and how we can just make it more pleasant for everyone, and let's start a conversation. Kevin thought it was a good idea. He loves BG, and I actually discovered BG. Well, I fell back in love with BG because of Kevin. Because I had bought a bunch of their beers when they were, and when I had Max on the podcast, I said this, a Vox Hops podcast, they were a grocery store beer before.
Yeah.
And now they're fucking hype. So props to you for doing that in a few short years. Kevin thought it was a good idea, so I went to the 8th anniversary and I pitched the idea to Max, and Max immediately liked the idea of doing a beer collab where we can start a conversation about the toxicity in the beer industry, beer scene, Quebec beer scene, because it's a beautiful industry and beer is meant to be made and enjoyed. And he immediately came back with the idea of, what if it was a 4-pack?
What was Max's idea?
To do the 4-pack. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And then immediately I was like, let's get Hoppy Bitch in, because when Hoppy Bitch dropped her black IPA, I was also dropping a black IPA at the same time. And she just wrote a message to me saying, oh, whatever, doesn't matter. C'est juste la bière. And I wrote back, I said, that would be a great beer name.
For real?
And because of all of that, this is where I came home from Quebec City and I wrote you guys all, because immediately I thought of you, Craig, BAOS to be a part of it, and obviously Noah from Beerism, and this is where the whole collab conversation started.
Interesting. I didn't know that Max was the reason for the 4-pack and the Gab was the reason for the name. One thing to a little bit more context was, we had talked, so we had a chat with Noah, Matt, myself, and Kevin, and we were shooting the shit. I think we were complaining about something, or as we probably do, and whatever. And we were like, yeah, we should do a collab, or like we were talking about doing a collab of sorts. And I think then, yeah, go on, Gab.
Today I realized it's been 2 years today that I said for the first time, c'est juste la bière. I saw it on my Instagram, Facebook souvenir, And it was at the anniversary of Brasserie Urbaine Canada.
Nice.
People was stealing glass from them and a lot of things. And people went crazy. I was like, yo guys, it's just beer. So today, it's been 2 years ago that I say that for the first time. I think it's very funny that now we have a beer with this.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So it happened so quickly. It happened so quickly. I came home from that. I started the chat with everyone. I get a lot of emails and chat done in public transport as I head to my day job, and it just happened like that. The same night at BG, we came up with the idea of doing. We at first we were fucking around with the idea of doing. Let's do the most stupidest beers possible, and then I felt guilty because there's another project that basically we're all involved in.
Yeah, exactly.
Which will be out very shortly. That idea was already in creation, so it quickly transformed into, I think it was Emile actually that suggested, why don't we do classic beer styles, which is Hoppy's his boyfriend. Yeah.
Oh, he said that. Look at that. Everyone's contributing. This is beautiful. This is just
really
really. Yeah, no, I did nothing. Literally nothing. Even Kevin did more than what? I'm playing, Kev. I love you. So
I haven't said my question to bounce this up. Sorry.
Yeah, man, go for it.
Craig would be. Max, why did you immediately think, let's do a 4-pack?
Good question.
Because why not? No, I can't. So why not? No, I just want to have fun. We as a business, as a brewery owner, we have a lot of stuff to think about, especially in the past months. So when I see, when you talk to me about this idea, it just keep going up and going up, like not like an auction, but I just gave me idea too, and then I was like, okay, so why not doing a 4-pack, because we can. So the idea was great, so this is why I'm doing it. I just want to have fun and to enjoy the beer, enjoy the process, share moments, and create new beers. So
and it's awesome to have
all in there.
4 completely different beers in a 4-pack that have never been brewed before. You don't see that very often. You'll see once in a while, maybe if something returning or what, and even then it's rare. Or like what PA does from the IPA podcast, where he has his own kind of configured 4-pack, but this is but this is completely kind of original and a lot of fun that we were able to do this, and that you were willing to do this for us.
Yeah, and during the process, I had to drain a batch of the Dry Stout because it didn't, wasn't up to the standards. So I just did another brew that was right on where it should be. But
I'm excited to talk about that one. That one was really quite something.
But what people have to know is that we have two breweries. Like we have the bigger one that Matt and Gab were there at our 8th anniversary, and we have a brew pub where we brew like 200 liters batch. So we have that flexibility. We can do like 300 liters to 600 liters right there with the canning on site. And we have that flexibility. We're not in obligation to do like 1,000 liters or 2,000 liters right the first time.
Which is amazing as a content creator, as someone that comes up with as many ideas as me. I always feel very guilty that I have to commit to helping sell X amount of cans. So only having to do 200 to 300 liters is much more comforting than 6,000 cans or something, let's say.
Yeah, I feel that. So then the traditional idea came from Gab's boyfriend, which is sick. So I remember even, like, let's talk about the process of like allocating a style. Like when we were picking them, maybe we were, I don't know if you guys remember, but we were like, all right, let's do a crispy, a stout, an IPA, and then like a sour.
We wanted to do something balanced. I think we wanted to do something balanced.
Yes.
I think I wanted to create something that I would buy.
Right.
And honestly, like the whole process of this whole thing was very smooth. I feel like we all have big personalities, but we actually really went through this super with lots of democracy and respect and listening to each other. But Kevin really knows what sells. So does Max, obviously too. But Kevin actually sells beer day to day. So it's interesting. He was like, "Fuck a sour. We don't want any sour."
Yeah. I think because we were allocating.
We were trying to give a sour to like either
I
you
got it.
or
It
nowhere.
was me.
And you're like, I don't want a fucking sour.
I didn't want to do it. I think we went with the Goza because I think what we were doing. It was a Goza, and I didn't mind the idea, but I wasn't in love with it. And I think because we were like, all right, who wants the stout? And I think Gabby took the stout to start. And who wants the crispy? I think Noah took that, and then Matt, you must have got the IPA. And then I was like, well, all right, I guess I'll take the sour. And like, I wasn't stoked about it, but I was like, cool, for the sake of the project, let's keep it going. So I think what happened is we're like, you know what, let's start again. Here's the different start. What does everyone want to do? And I think that's when we kind of, Gab was like, well, I still want to do a stout. I think that's what happened. So that worked out good. I wanted the crispy anyway, so I took that. And I remember Noah specifically, yours is a super interesting one because it was something that we don't see period anywhere, which I guess, I don't know if you want to talk about it yet or we'll wait till we get to it at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to talk about it at length, but yeah, I liked the idea of doing something that isn't either done often anymore or hasn't been done in like a really long time. And so I've been thinking about, future collabs with people and beer styles that I might want to try and do or suggest to do. And the idea of an American Strong is something I haven't had in a really long time. And I don't even know if they've ever really been done in Quebec that I can remember. So it was a fun idea, and Max was on board, even though you'd never had one before, I don't think, eh?
I think the only one I ever got, which was the inspiration, was the Arrogant Bastard from Stone Brewing Company. But it's been a few years since I drank that beer, so I was like, okay,
well,
let's do this.
I was talking to Guillaume because I went and bought a 4-pack today because I didn't have time to go to Villeray. So I went to Multi Hops and I was talking to Guillaume, and he was like, man, the second I put my nose into that beer, it was like a time capsule to 10 years ago. That like caramelly pine combination thing is not something you get anymore. But anyway, we can talk about it more later.
I love it. So basically that's how it started, as far as like everyone picking the styles, and then we sort of moved it into individual conversation because it was kind of hard for all of us to have this sort of in-depth conversation. And I don't recall, aside from Kevin suggesting the Moteca, which as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Like, I don't believe we all kind of did things with each other's beer, did we guys? Like, I think
no, you guys I had no say in whether you guys did. And I trust you guys to know what you guys want, and I absolutely trust Max to make a good beer at the end of the day. So
I think
Kevin's always
some feedback in terms of like if someone suggested something that just really didn't seem to fit in the groove. But you're right in that we didn't like try and control what the other person wanted to do.
Oh, I want to barrel age something, so this pack's coming out in 3 years.
Do you know what? You reminded me, Noah. One thing that I always wanted this, we have a bit of a joke, we always have, Team Lactose, Team Innovation, whatever. And the joke we have is Team Roos, because obviously Roos is a ridiculous style that is just kind of funny to be a nerd. There's nothing wrong with them. They're perfectly fine beers. And I suggested a Roos, and Kevin's like, I'm out. We're doing a Roos. I'm out. I'm not here for it. I was like, man, fuck, I want a Roos. So
I think Rooses are on a comeback. I believe in the Roos.
Oh, thank you. So you're Team Roos with me then?
No,
all right.
I'm Team Roos.
Team Bitter.
Team Bitter?
Bitter
that would
first, and Roos way after.
Way after. That would have been a good idea. Like a bunch of breweries I've been doing podcasts with, have been sending ESBs to be a part of the podcast. I always thought that was such an interest, like as in like this
Coming
month.
back.
It's amazing.
Super interesting. But I, in hindsight, I know I was kind of joking, but was gonna run with it. And if Kevin, if you didn't like be like, nah, bro, like we're not doing that, I would have gone with it. But I'm actually glad that you did, because this is exceptional.
This is really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the pack needed something that's like, lagers are already kind of popping. Of all the 4 styles, I think this is the one that's the most, I don't want to say hype.
It's on trend.
It's not hype, but it's on trend. And I think
I can say, honestly, from what I've been hearing and everyone's saying, and Kevin's told me there, he can imagine this one actually becoming a future BG beer.
A regular, I think, and no offense, Max, the Exode Urbain is amazing, but I think this one is, because of the dryness again, it's home at every point, and like we would sell it like a day-to-day beer, and that's a really cool beer to have in the pack because of that.
Cool.
Everybody's texting me on Instagram about the Pilsner so far, and they're like, oh shit.
Oh really? That's good.
So then, Max, that's a great question. Are you open to taking any of these beers and doing them regularly, even if it's under another brand name?
Like a rebrand, yeah.
Like a rebrand, and like
it could still be a collab with BAOS, let's say, but with a new label.
Yeah, but of course, the whole idea behind the project for me is to test our ability to create recipe in each style. And of course, we just did a killer 4-pack, and of course you will see some kind of from baby or next beers born from it. But let's discuss all the details afterwards. But
let's sell all of these 4-packs first.
I'm drinking it and I really enjoy it. So I'm the first consumer of my beer. So
that's true. That is really true. I would actually, to be honest, I like anything else aside, like it would make me really happy that from doing this project that you were able to create new SKUs and new products that can, that you're able to do. So whilst like, although this was a genuine group project that like every single one of us was really involved in, which I really appreciated, there was no one who was like, like in a group project at school, there's always like a bunch of people who don't do shit. But everyone here really contributed and really cared. And I think that's what, and obviously we're all genuine friends and stuff. So it makes it a lot easier. And like, this was, like Matt was saying earlier, it was a genuine pleasure. But it would make me extra happy if there were, Max is the one who's putting up money, making this damn beer, getting the beautiful labels, someone hand drew, whatever, but drawing our stupid faces and then packaging all 4 beers. I was thinking about the logistics the other day of this, and that is like, that's annoying, bro. So like, you did all of this stuff. I would love for you to have something else after this, and you're like, yeah, that beer was a hit. I'm gonna run with that one, or something like that. I think it's just a little cherry on top.
I'd also be very stoked to see the BG clientele and the fans of BG get exposed to these styles that made us fall in love with craft beer and explore the different palettes of beer. Like you guys are killing, obviously, the barrel aged and the haze is super strong. You're doing good crispies, but fucking around with bitter profiles and beers, and is what you keep mentioning in the chat that we have there, is that you had so much fun exploring bitter profiles of beer, which is something that you weren't playing with. So maybe if you're educating, and not educating, but if people are appreciating a different profile about beer after this, I'd be stoked about that too.
But it's also interesting because it just kind of occurred to me, and after having drank all 4 of them, like they're all pretty bitter. This one clearly we just drank, and then the double West Coast is obviously a very bitter beer, and then the American Strong, that's its whole point. And then the dry stout, just because it's on the drier side and low ABV, it's going to have that sharper kick to it. So yeah, and bitterness is something that's kind of not been popular recently in the last couple of years. We're moving more towards sweet, or the bitterness or astringency comes from hop burn instead of like resinous hop bitterness or whatever. So this was a fun 4-pack to kind of dive into to really get that kind of old school bitter profile.
Speaking of a stout, I think we should move on.
It's time. I was about to say. Could you get the next one, please, babe? So
take note when you're pouring this beer and on how much it looks like you're pouring out a pastry stout, but it's a fucking dry stout. It's crazy.
I love it. I'm excited. So Max and Gab, talk about the beer. I'd love to hear as well, Gab. Like, you can, and if you feel more comfortable, like, absolutely speak in French as well. Like, we can do a bit of a translation for the Anglophones as well. So please feel comfortable. If you can't, if you're not good, you're like, I don't want to do English, just fucking do it in French, man. You're good.
I got your back. I got your back.
Moi, c'est sûr.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at Gab looking so innocent on there. I just want to comment.
Love it.
It's beautiful. It's
great. She's never posted a negative comment on a meme in her life.
Not once.
I wish. I put this picture at my work. Like, we have a picture of us on Teams and Outlook, and this is my my picture. I receive a lot of message like, "What the fuck? It's so cool! It's your face." I really awesome. Enjoy it.
Wow, Noah's right. This is 3.5%, 3.6.
Yeah.
Thick. It feels thick and gorgeous. The head is amazing.
My lips was black. I was like, "Is that a pastry stout or?"
It's not overly sweet, so in our mouth we realize that it's not. But
no. So I'd love to hear, like, Gab, you love stouts. I'd love to hear why you wanted to do a stout, and then what you and Max decided together, and why did you guys decide to do a 3.6% stout? Because that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, but because I asked Max, I tell Max that you're too funny. Okay. I wanted a Guinness style beer because Guinness is the beer that we drink a lot at home. All family drink Guinness. Like, if it's your birthday, you receive a pack of Guinness.
Really?
We drink a lot of Guinness. So, and this is the first beer that I drank with my dad. And when we traveled to London or Ireland, etc. And so that's why I asked Max to do Guinness style, but with more, Guinness, it's so soft, and I wanted something more coffee. Because Emile, for my boyfriend, brew one dry stout for me, but it was more chocolate. So I was like, thank you, I love it, but I really love dry stout, more coffee than chocolate side. So I'm very happy when I drink the beer. I was very happy. It's very, very coffee and torrefaction. It's so perfect. It's very bitter. Yeah. And I was very surprised. Like I said in the podcast with Baron Mag, with Leo, I was thinking the beer was 500%. So when I looked back, oh shit, 3.6 was like, oh, okay. So I really love it, and thank you so much, Max. I can't wait to share this beer with my dad. We'll be very happy.
It's amazing, man. It's the first time I'm having it, and like,
it's amazing.
The body and like it's just thirst beer. You can drink it. So sad we can't put any like green color into it. And just
it's right on time. It's right on time for next week.
Yeah, I was gonna say next week. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is impeccable, guys. So Max, what Gab really set that up. So tell us about the beer itself and how you ended up at this lower ABV, but with this much body, because this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just realized that while discussing that Gab, had connection with England and and Ireland, as you said, and to do a good dry stout, it can be a little bit higher in alcohol than that, but to do it like at 3.5, 3.7%, you just get the drinkability. So what's important for this one especially was the mouthfeel, the body, and keep the drinkability. And I think the bitterness was the key to cut through the roast malt and the coffee side. Just that with a wonderful mouthfeel, it's just give that dry stout that you can drink, and you just take a sip and you just take another sip right after, because it's just bitter and you're just thirsty, so you just keep drinking it, and at the end the beer is over in the record time.
Do you think that all the trial and error and research and whatnot you've done into making pastry stouts over the last, I don't know, year or two really helped you kind of roll back and do something more classic?
I think yes, of course it helped, but it's just another word totally, because just the volume you brew when you brew an imperial stout, just put a bunch and a lot of malt and cereals, and you just concentrate the wort, so you have like not much beer to transfer to the fermenter, because you just concentrate.
Right.
But on this one, it just gave more volume, and so you had to adjust the roast malt to have that sharp, sharp texture and color too. Color on the first batch was a problem, so I had to. This is why I drained the first batch, because it was not up to standards, and I just adjusted for the second batch, and it was on point.
No, I got problem with the color because the Hoppy Bitch was rebrewed.
Okay.
The beer I brew with fermentor.
Yeah.
And they did it. They don't sell. Ils l'ont pas sorti because of the color. So I'm not lucky with the color.
Yeah, the thing about this is that you put specialty malt into the beer, and you want some coffee, but you just don't want it over roasted. And this is the fine line to keep the balance.
Okay.
So you can play with other malts, but traditionally, in stout, you put like roast malt. So
the color was brown, or?
Yeah, it was too light. A little bit too light.
Yeah, because look how dark this is.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, you can't see through it. And Noah has a good point that your skill set around the pastry stouts, like, because your pastries are just fucking insane, bro. So I imagine that has to play into what you're doing here, like Noah was saying. I want to ask, is there coffee in this? Because it just tastes like I'm drinking damn near cold brew.
No, it's just
the
roast malt. Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. That's glorious.
And if I could recommend something to people who are listening right now, is that all except the Pilsner, people should drink, like, keep the beer out of the fridge for like about 30 minutes to an hour before cracking the can. Just to warm up a little bit. The beer will help to have the balance we want.
Should I take the others out now? Because I got them in the fridge. I should probably take them out.
Yeah, you should.
Just get
Yeah,
a few beers
I
out.
think it could be nice.
Okay.
In England, you can ask 4 way for your Guinness. So like warm, very warm, like tablet, cold,
Yes.
and very cold. That's so weird. Very cold dry
Interesting.
stout. I
Everyone
don't
has a
know.
preference, right? You know,
Very
Yeah,
warm.
really.
there's toxic people everywhere.
There is. That's a good one. So speaking of the toxic, I don't know if we want to talk about the beer anymore, but do we want to talk about the concept? Kev, were you gonna say something, brother? Sorry, man.
Yeah, the toxic is from Australia. That's why I heard. Concentrated there.
They like it really cold.
Really? That's why I left. That's why I'm here. I need to get away from the toxic stuff.
Sure, toxic. I can bring it. I feel like an outsider in the beer world because if people don't know who I am that are listening, I'm the singer of Cryptopsy, which is a internationally renowned death metal band. I've been in the band since 2007. The band's been in existence since the early 90s. Lots of fame. I've toured across the globe. My first album with the band was not received very positively.
I
So
didn't know that.
I got eaten alive on the net, death threats.
But I'm not surprised. Like,
You're not
I'm not
surprised I got death threats, but
no, but it's because you are the new one.
yeah,
and
yeah.
People really don't like to change.
No,
So
it was also a dramatic change in directions. I started doing some clean vocals in Cryptopsy, which was not a very acceptable thing at the time, albeit now everyone in death metal does clean vocals, but Cryptopsy back in 2008 was avant-garde as always. So coming from that world and coming from that experience in my life, I am a fly on the wall in many beer groups. On the internet, I do not comment.
Anymore, man.
I do not post. I do not write on anything except for friends stuff. But I thought it was just so goddamn toxic. And I love beer. And it's a huge passion in my life. And I love creating things, and to watch people just demolish people's creations for the sake of a laugh, I thought was hurtful and very painful. So this is really where the idea came from, that beer is meant to be made. Beer was invented to be enjoyed. And that is really what the concept of the whole project was. I don't know if anyone else wants to take this in another direction, but for myself, this is really where this concept came from. And I know that Kevin has his own view of this because he has a détaillant, a person that has a craft beer store that sells beers, perception of the scene. Craig, you have a perception being the OG of craft beer podcasts here. And Beerism is the craft beer blog. Hoppy B, you got so much shit for just the fact of not being a man. And it, you know, there's a reason why I included all of you. So
yeah.
Take it in the direction you guys want to take it.
Yeah.
Before I was a girl in the beer scene, I'm still a musician, but I have been a drummer for like 13 years.
Mm.
So I was
I'll help you bring your drum kit in because you need help, right?
Yeah, always. I'm like, yo, shut up, dude. I can do it. But I can't count the time that I was going to do a show. So I am in the backstage, and guys asking me, and girls too, if I am a groupie. I was like, I'm not a groupie. I am the drummer. Oh my god. So in the beer industry, it's the same things. Like people is like, oh, is it Emil who writes your review, or you just do the picture, or Emil do the picture? No, man, it's just me. I can. Why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's true. And I want that people just talk about beer, because literally no one come to talk to me about beer. Like,
really?
everyone come to talk to me. Hey, do you see this? Do you see what these people say? Oh my God, she look like you. She image you. Blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck. Why? Like when I do podcasts or whatever, nobody talk about beer. Can we talk about beer, please? That's why
They want the
like
drama
we're
from
here.
you for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it's because my name is Bitch, but people really like to come to me and bitch, bitching about the other people. I'm like, okay. So
That's crazy.
yeah. So if you listen, you can always come talking beer with me.
She knows way more about beer than I know about beer, and I will say that publicly.
No. Don't say that.
I can talk about death metal with you. How about you, Craig? Craig, what was your mindset about all of this when I pitched the idea to you and the concept?
Well, yes. So I got multiple, just like it sounds like we've all got multiple experience. Obviously, I do music. I do hip hop music. My brother and I left Australia because the way that we rap was unacceptable. We were always ostracized within the Australian scene because of the way we sounded when we rapped. And if you didn't be like, yo, fucking, like you was really exaggerated Australian accent, like they didn't like it. It was really weird. I never aligned with that there. And so I went through that toxicity in the rap scene. And then, and I got pretty heated, not like physical, but it got, it wasn't pleasant. So when I discovered beer, it was like, I was just like, this is so cool. It's such a nice escape from music because I don't have to stress about all this drama and blah, blah, blah. So then I went through a thing. I won't go into major detail, but in 2016, I had a bit of I was the bad guy. I was cancelled by the Ontario craft beer scene. Shouts to y'all. Because of using a word that is, native to my culture that people here didn't take kindly to. And instead of discussing it, I was... Is
that cunt?
You're not allowed to say it.
Yes.
Well, Gab said it. I didn't say it. So cancel Gab. No, don't cancel Gab. But I taught Gab all the words, and she's done very, very well. I'm very proud of her.
I want to soundbite of that.
Vachier, right?
Vachier, exactly. And mange la marde. Yeah. Wow. So. Either way, so I went through it. I had a bit of drought. Everything's sort of all come around because you can't deny the impact that we've had at the point that was an earlier on thing. And my friend was my co-host, but I copped it, not really him. And it was, people just wanted someone to be the bad guy. They want drama, as sort of Gab was talking about as well. So I saw that and it was pretty disheartening for me, to be honest. I was really upset about it because I was like, all these people were piling on, basically called me the devil when I didn't even know they existed. So I'm like, okay, interesting. And it sort of changed the way I saw everything. So yes, I've been on the receiving end of that toxicity, and I've seen it here, but I don't participate in it. Just kind of like you, Matt. I'm in all the groups and stuff. I only chat in my group chats with all of you guys. I watch stuff. I'm in the Facebook groups. I'll see what they're saying. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not going to go. I don't want to argue with people on the internet about whether smoothies are beer, because obviously they are and no one's wrong. But it doesn't, it's just, this resonated with me a lot. So yes, I definitely experienced it. Obviously the positive experiences significantly outweigh any negativity, but we do have to acknowledge it. And, this project obviously is about that. Whoever else, Max, Kev, Noah, whoever wants to jump in of any experiences you guys have had.
I think for me, the project is kind of like twofold. On the one hand, the toxicity stuff, similar stuff that you're saying, but then on the other hand too, like even beyond people treating each other badly, but just taking anything too seriously is like that's part of the fun of it, right? Like that's what we're 6 people on a podcast talking about beer. So maybe it isn't just beer if we take it seriously enough to fucking do a 6-person podcast about it. But just that like the whole trading scene is just this like laughable insanity when you're like creating formulas around like secondary market value for this and how much like it's just beer, you know what I mean? Like, calm the fuck down. Like, I don't mind spending extra money or hunting something down or driving a little further or what, like, that's fine. But when you're making calculations and you're trading across the world just to try something that's only marginally better than something you can get up the street, then it's a little weird.
Yeah.
So like, I think part of this project for me was just like calm the fuck down. It's just beer. But then like with the toxicity stuff, more and more I've been getting, I think, closer to a lot of the drama, because now that I leave the house, I get to know a lot of people, and I'm seeing like all these, and I'm fucking involved, and it's weird, because I think at the end of the day, sometimes people just are bored or whatever, or they just take something that they love and they have to, I don't know, create drama around it because they just those are the types of people. So it's tough at times, but at the same time, like, that's only part of it, and there's so much positivity in the scene.
Do you think that the COVID play a game in this? Like, I think people are bored. So their life are so boring. They want to create drama. Maybe, I think.
Yeah.
So I
there was
think
a lot of that on the beer meme Quebec, and like when it comes to like the whole Masorum thing, and then like there's so many things that came out of that group. I mean, I like the idea of satire, and I like the idea of being able to attack in a way that's humorous, but it's always riding that line between being okay and being cruel. And the cruelties, it doesn't work. And like jumping on the bandwagon of something, and what happened with I feel like the women in the scene, especially you, was really terrible. And I feel like it was like these old archaic views of it was like they were taking feminism from like 20 years ago and using it to attack women today in a way that was just ugly. And so a lot of women got involved too, because I think from the female perspective as well, seeing feeling like other women in the industry are trying to just use their bodies and not their minds or whatever, and so they were jumping on to attack as well. But it's like telling anyone what to do with their bodies, that's the problem, not what they're doing. Anyone can do what they want, whether you like it or not, whether you think it's tacky or whatever. At the end of the day, like, it seemed pretty clear to me that like the two people that they were attacking, their content is better than most online. So
and takes way more time than any of us.
Yeah, because it takes me 2 hours to make my makeup. So
all I have to do is put a hat on.
Yeah. No, have you seen? I didn't put any makeup for doing the picture of you with your screaming face.
I noticed.
And a lot of people ask me if it's you. Is it Matt? No, it's me.
I love
That's hilarious.
Yeah, those were great.
Yeah, you did a really good job.
Killed it. Surprised me. I wasn't expecting that. You did a very good job.
Yeah, it was very funny. Definitely go check out Gab's Bitches for this, because she's made fun of all of us, including herself. So it was really well executed.
It's amazing. And Noah's blog was amazing too. You touched on some really serious things about like anything that people are passionate about. There's going to be these subgroups of people that are just way too extreme about it.
Yeah.
You really hit the nail on the head there, which is, and as I read it, I was like, oh, fuck, he's right.
Yeah.
Kevin,
I stole plant for my mom for doing your picture.
Yeah, I love that so much.
Well, when I saw your post, it was like I was scrolling and it was a Hoppy. I just assumed it was Craig, and then I was like, Hoppy Bitch. I was like, oh, she's really kind of doing a Craig thing here. And then I started scrolling through, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's
But
yeah.
I couldn't
well,
find any fireworks, so sorry.
No, you kept it
Oh.
clean. I think it was even better without it.
It was very well
Kevin,
done.
as a retail side of the toxicity, well, we're definitely going to dance into the positive side of things. If people are listening right now, wondering why we're going so deep into the negativity, is because
Let's
everything's
talk about
BAOS.
Untap.
let's but let's
And the
Yeah,
day.
this
Dates.
shirt is.
Yeah.
Did you show the audience the back of your shirt? You should.
Yeah, it says 3.5 on 5, which is the absolute shittiest note you can put in a beer, because it means you didn't get shit, you didn't understand the beer at all. But like, it's another full conversation about it. But from a retail perspective, what sucks is beer is really cool right now. Is the coolest ever. We have lots of breweries coming up, lots of good ideas, lots of bright labels and everything. So beer is cool, it's fun and all. So you have a lot of new people that come and that came into that world, like from the past few years, and everybody wants the best. Everybody wants what's hot, and because of that, lots of people think they know beer, and like they know beer because they drink the hype and the this and the that. It becomes to a point where, tell me what you're drinking, I'm going to tell you if you're cool or not. And you can drink whatever you want, man. And just because it's not a specific logo on the can doesn't mean that beer is good or not. It's up to you. It's up to drinking it and discover it. And we have to fight almost every day towards having a good mix of really interesting beer. You need the hype, you need like the non-hype beer, which is all absolutely beautiful. And it happens a lot, like when people come into a store, they ask if we have a certain specific super hype beer, and we don't, and they just left. And it's 2022, man. The A's you want, you have like another 15 products that have the same type of A's, even maybe more complexity than the one you were looking for. And they left because we're not cool. They're like, we don't have that beer they want. It sucks a lot. This is not the way to drink beer. You can just enjoy, try a new one, and that's it.
I missed the time when people was asking for la Norres. Only the Norres. T'as-tu ça de la Norres?
Yeah.
Now it's
I was
like,
so
do you have
excited.
Canada? Do you have Messerem? Do you have Brewski? Do you have...
And
I was so excited the first time I found a Nord-Est.
Oh, yeah.
So excited.
Oh, the first time I was in Quebec and I take a big pichet at Victor. They make a big
For
hamburger.
yourself.
A fucking pichet. Oh my God. And we were going to see fireworks with the kids. I was so drunk.
No,
we have to take a
excited.
boat. And I was, oh man, oh no. And I was feeling very fat. That's loud.
oh,
Max, on the brewer's side of things, the negativity, the concept of the project, was this something that interested you, tackling the concept of negativity, or was it just exciting to pair up with 4 content creators?
Yeah, where I've learned to brew at Brasserie des Beaupré, Luc was a mentor for me, and this guy just came from Dieu du Ciel and just started up his brew pub in La Côte de Beaupré, and just didn't give a shit. He just wanted to do like skiing all day and brewing beers.
It was one of my first brewery, and I still really love them.
It's a really good brewery that I still love from the bottom of my heart. And when you go there, the lineup is just like classic style, but they are classic styles of beer. They are so well made, and this guy just don't give a shit. You know, he just want to do like good beers, and like he just want to go out and do some skiing. So this guy had a lot of impact on me, and you know, following up with the BG en fait, with what we are doing with BG for the past 3 years, we are kind of a complete opposite side. But right now I'm trying to bring back that simplicity, you know, for the brewery, because BG, you know, is 8 years old. Before I arrived, they had you know, begin the process work of, you know, keep going and doing good beer, and I really like what I saw from them. But you know, fighting the past 5 years, it's kind of a battle for your survival, literally. For the past like 2 or 3 years, we fought with like toxicity of people that said like, okay, this is shit, so it's a good beer for a shitty brewery or some kind of stuff. So even if you could make the best beer in the world, people would say like some people, because it's a really small portion of people, and they would say, oh, it's a pretty good beer for a shitty brewery, so like 3.5 on tap. So you come, okay guys, so so you just want to buy a lager, man, or why are you drinking beer? Like,
Yeah,
do you drink it for the experience? Yeah, because this is our mission. You know, we want to do you know, good beers, like go further with some, you know, some experience when you just crack a can or like a bottle. And to, you know, with our barrel age program, this is the place I think where it hit the most. We're trying to do projects by flavors and not by styles. And you know, we just right now it's really good. The perception of people are kind of really good, and we enjoy it. But it took like a couple of years to came back, because we were not new. We didn't have that effect, you know. We just had to fight with the past. So this is why we came up with Brasserie Urbaine, and this is where we are right now. And then I'm trying to use that tribute to you know, to make more like crispy lagers, more simple recipes, and people want it right now.
Yeah, if I could jump in on what Max said, is like a lot of the toxicity or the negative comportment behaviors we can see is from a really small portion of the beer scene. But this is the loudest part of the beer scene. Like, we have absolutely lovely customers that comes, and like they comes and they were new to craft beer, and now they're like kind of almost expert, and they're like, oh, you're the expert. I'm like, no, you became the expert. I'm not. You tried a lot of beer, you know what's up. And they have the how to say, they're really like, you know, they're
very humble, you're saying.
They are very humble, because they're like, they know their beer, they know what they like and not, and they're still like asking for suggestion because they don't know. Because some people are talking so loud, they don't have space for them, because they don't know that they should like this beer or not, because somebody says it was shit. And it sucks, because it's only like little portion. That's what I wanted to add to what Max said, you know.
I like what you said too. Are you buying a logo, or are you buying a beer? That's something that's resonating with me.
And also, should I like this beer? That's so key, man, because that's what you're thinking. You're like, are the fucking beer people online saying, this is cool enough? Should I like it? Like, can I like something that they don't like? That's such a good point.
So high school.
Yeah.
With music, it brings me back to music. What bands are cool? Am I allowed to like Limp Bizkit, let's say?
Yeah, Limp Bizkit is great. Fuck it.
Yeah, man. Fucking
it's
$3 bill,
different.
y'all.
On that, should we switch it up to mine? Sorry.
Yeah, I think yours. Will be.
I grabbed the wrong can. Yeah.
We're doing a bit of Matthew action, a bit of Matthew right there. So Max, you want to talk through this one?
Absolutely. I can start this off easily. I fell in love with craft beer on tour. My first US tour, I was playing in Atlanta at the Masquerade, which is no longer there. Crazy venue, mythical venue. I took a walk around the corner, went to a little convenience store. My guitarist was with me. He said, we should get this. We picked up this 6-pack. It was Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. I drank that night, and I was like, what the fuck is this? What is this hoppy profile? Beer was clear before that. I used to drink Molson X and shitty beers before that. And then from there, everything just snowballed. I started with a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Max came back, what do we do with like a Piney the Elder? And I was like, I've never tasted it, but I know it's mythical and I want to do it. And that's where that went. So I have no idea what hops went into this. So Max showcased the whole beer.
Yeah, about this double West Coast IPA, when you think about West Coast IPA, you just feel that citrusy and piney thing with, bitterness that really make the difference between, a East Coast and a West Coast IPA. And this one came up a little bit darker than I wanted, but because you have the malty side, a little bit of caramel malt, but in the finish when you taste it, it's just the fruity and the bitterness with malt and support, so you don't get that caramel that it's not overtaking, it's not too sweet, it's just a good balance between piney, citrus, and bitterness.
It's amazing. First time I'm tasting it, it's delicious. It's perfect flashback to rediscovering a bitter bite in an IPA. Completely different. It's like the French words coming to me for some reason. Say désaltérant.
Désaltérant.
Yeah, it's the word that's coming to me.
I don't know why the West Coast became so old and not fun no more. It's always been like American IPAs are like a great classic, and West Coast are just like the extent of, to me, of the American IPAs, on the spectrum. And like, it's super good. And like, some people are just like, it's malty. I'm like,
no, this is more floral. I feel more floral than malty. There's a little caramel as you're mentioning there, but
I'm talking about the West Coast in general.
Got it.
Like,
sorry.
It's not cool at all. And I feel like we need more West Coast, and like we need West Coast that are like in that type of profile, and not like a too much fruity West Coast that is an hybrid between.
I think that's what a lot of breweries are doing the hybrids of bringing. We have a West Coast, but basically a New England West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, Cinquième Baron does a bit of that because they put some New World hop or I guess more contemporary hops in them, but they still really have that West Coast vibe, which is nice.
And they do some nice West Coast too, so they show that they can do both, which is what we want to see,
What are the hops in this?
Yeah, I'm curious too. Yeah,
because like this has got one of the most unique palettes I've ever had. Like I can't even pick it.
I'm going to look right into the recipe because I just had so many recipes in mind.
I'd say if we go classic, it's Centennial Chinook.
Yeah, clearly Chinook, of course.
Centennial.
Maybe. Just a second.
Cascade.
There are some Sabro in it. I feel it.
Oh yeah, some good old Sabro in Talos. Yeah.
HBC 630.
Represent.
All day, the vibes.
That would be funny. That would be funny to do gangware for new
For
hop
hops.
names.
Just me and Kevin just going like, yeah.
Luke from Yakima Chief might be into that. Actually, it's actually a really good idea.
Okay, so in this one, actually, it's like Centennial, Simcoe, and with Nugget.
I told you, Centennial guys.
Centennial Simcoe. Kevin, you're a genius. You're a genius and a scholar.
I said Centennial first, but it's okay. He's a genius.
What?
Yeah. Well, obviously you are. I'm making him feel good.
You said Chinook. You said Chinook.
I said Centennial and Chinook, but it's okay.
It's recording. We can.
Even myself, I thought I put Chinook in it, but I was wrong.
It's delicious. I don't mind the color. It's a real flashback to what West Coast used to be.
Well, you asked for Sierra Nevada. I had one recently, and it looked exactly like this, straight copper. So what am I getting? Like you mentioned floral, and I'm definitely getting the floral. Oh, beef jerky. But Gab's got the beef jerky right there. I love it. But I'm like, what are these?
It's almost like a leather on the nose.
Yeah, I can't pick these flavors. Floral is probably the closest I can think of. But maybe can anyone I guess obviously Max will probably know best. But does anyone have obviously Noah? You're the pretentious, long-winded review man.
Centennial, it's an interesting hops because when I worked with it in the past, it came up with big orange citrus, or sometimes it just smelled with a bit of old socks.
Right.
There's a fine line between the two. It's kind of weird, but I know it doesn't taste appealing, but on the profile side, it's kind of an interesting hops.
The balance
with the Simcoe, which is more really grapefruit, and with the resin, so it's kind of a mix of resin, piney, and that kind of citrus side. But
I get a lot of dank hop.
Is it dank?
Oh, there's some dank. Yes, for definitely. There's a weedy feature to it.
Okay.
But big marmalade, that's the thing for me. It's
marmalade, the bitterness of the marmalade. You're the marmalade, no?
I'm the marmalade.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Or you're the Vegemite.
Craig's a Vegemite.
Yeah, you called her a Sheila. I don't remember. What the fuck is a Sheila?
A woman, female.
I just want to say
a bloke in the Sheila.
I saw the video a lot of time, and I never understand what you were saying to me. And I saw a meme on Beer Meme Quebec, and the girl was put the traduction, and I was like, that's what he was talking. Oh, this is okay.
Are we fighting, Gab? Are you gonna fight me? Are we fighting?
No.
I think you should.
Come on, Gab. Okay. Let's do it.
In a big pool full of beer. The stout. Next time you have to drain a beer, Max.
Both of them are in bikinis.
Both of them. Mostly me. Mine's gonna be really small though.
Yeah,
I don't want to show my beard.
Bodysuit. You are in bikini.
This is really good, Max. I'm very happy.
Yeah, man.
This is really fantastic.
So great stuff. It's the first time you tasted?
First time I tasted, it's perfect. It's
me and Matt were the first time for all of them tonight. I think
7.5. You'd never know. There's a little heat from the
hardly any.
But it's amazing.
It's got one of the most unique noses I've smelled.
It's like leather. It's earthy. It's really weird.
Earthy. That's another thing. Kev, had you had all of them yet, or had you had this one, or was it just Gabs that you hadn't had?
Yeah, I got it. I was about to say you talk about the nose. I stopped drinking 2 minutes ago, and you still have that earthy resinous taste in your palate, and this is what I like about this kind of beer. But I got it before, but it was a low fill because I'm a hobo. I drink low fills, and and it was flat and kind of like a cask, and the piney aroma of it was really like a fresh pine tree, and it was really like, whoa. And I wanted to try it in a cask because of all that profiles, and but like with some gas and not low fill, it's amazing too. But at first it was like a completely another experience of the beer, and that was really good.
And I love West Coast, and I buy them all the time, and Kevin knows that I do there because I go to like Canette all the time. But I'm stoked to see that we did a West Coast and a double West Coast at that. I think that the balance, the beer scene needs a balance. You need to be able to go out to a bar, and I'm not naming any bars, but I've been to places where how many fucking double New Englands or New Englands can you drink?
A lot.
It's got to be balanced. You can go out and have an experience, something that's pleasing for your palate. That's a balanced experience.
No,
and I think
I agree.
I strive for more breweries to have fun.
Wow. No, you're right. I did a podcast last night, and I had 4 hazy IPAs back to back as a part of the podcast, which I never would normally do. And I think I got palate fatigue. I think the first 2 were pretty cool, and then after that, it was definitely.
Like, how much can you taste? It's just this,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just sugar. Right?
It's necessary.
I feel like what is the sugar on this? Is it less than a New England, let's say, or is it the same? I don't know the science.
No, I think it's the same. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
quite
just,
sweet.
It's just the use of bittering hops that cuts through everything, but it's basically the same. Yeah.
Something that's not so bitter is the positive side of the craft beer scene.
That segue.
The opposite side, and like obviously we laid in heavy about the negative aspects of the beer scene, which is a part of this project, but we also love the scene, which is why we think that we should focus a lot on that. So let's name on some aspects as to what is so positive. For myself, obviously, it's this beautiful family that I've discovered mainly throughout the pandemic, which is a true blessing. I'm very lucky to have gotten so close to so many people, whether it be brewers, fellow craft beer media peeps. How about for you guys? What makes you feel good about the craft beer scene, and what should we be focusing on instead of all this negative stuff? Because it is just beer.
Yeah, it's a good one. I agree with you, man. Honestly, the people have been like so cool, and it's interesting because sometimes I look at this, I'm like, we are beer media. We're making content. I mean, we would, I can't remember who it was. Someone was joking before about the fact that we're taking, 6 of us, Noah, I think said it, there's like 6 of us, how serious are we taking this? But like, we love beer enough to make content for it. And then other people, like in any other industry, we shouldn't technically kind of be friends as far as we're all competitors as such, but no one, the brewers sort of set the standard for that. All the brewers are friends. Then us became friends. Like I know Noah for a long time, and it's been really cool to, he's the OG here and getting friends with him and learning. And he taught me a ton. And, and then Matt, we connected, I think it was 2019. And Gab, we only met, I guess, last year. And Kevin, I guess we only met last year. And then Max, we met in 2020 when Noah told me about, what did Kevin do? You smartass?
Gave you the finger.
Love you. Like Noah told me about BG, we were doing a thing with the Quebec City Tourism Board. And he's like, yo, make sure you go to BG, bro. They're doing some crazy shit right now. And I was like, okay, I knew the brand.
I don't talk like that.
Oh, you said it. Well, I'm paraphrasing. You're like,
good day, sir. You should visit BG.
That's racist. And it was just like, it was dope. But yeah, it was actually more British for sure. But either way, it was kind of cool the way all this stuff, we talk every day. Or, beer was my side project, just like I can speak to Matt for sure. And probably Gab it was as well. And it's become an equal main thing in my life, and knowing all of y'all, and there's a bunch of similar people that we speak to daily. And then the other cool part is the breweries, like dudes like Max. Now we're in these multiple group chats. We're just talking shit every day, and there's a bunch of different brewers that like are commenting on stuff online, and there's this like organic community, because from the brewer side, you guys don't have to embrace us by any means.
No, they don't need us at all.
Not at all. But you do. And you do these things like this, like I was saying earlier. This is like, you know, money, time, energy, effort to do this. And you know, I imagine that's because you see value in what all of us kind of do. But I just think it's so dope that, like, I don't know, that it's like this one little passion for this ridiculous liquid that gets us drunk has brought us all sort of together. And that is like extremely valuable. Like I really love it. I own a business. I very much respect entrepreneurialism, and I know what it takes to do what Max is doing, to do what Kevin's doing, to put your money up and to run these businesses. And I don't know, man, it's just been super cool for me. I've learned a lot from everybody, and I value this experience much more than I ever thought I would, when I just was like, man, the rap scene's doing my head in. Let me just say the C word and talk about beer a bit. And here we are 7 years later, you know, it's cool.
I mean, I've been kind of connected, I guess, for about 10 years in the beer scene here. One of the first people I ever interacted with was Guillaume Rondeau, who works at Multi Hops, who used to be, well, still is, Le Beer Jedi, but for me, he was always like one of the original Quebec beer bloggers. And when I first started, he was one of the first people to like comment on my stuff.
Killer six pack still. Very impressed.
Killer six. Oh, it's true.
Does he really?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Rude to cut you off, but
Swaffy all the time.
It's unbelievable how in shape this guy is.
But I love his photo shoots with his new girlfriend. So, you know, like just having that one person kind of like validate that you're doing something that has some kind of value, and then just going from there, you know, and the scene back then was smaller, so it was harder to like dive into it or discover it or figure it out. And then, but that thing has just been growing steadily. I mean, most of my, or a good portion of my friends now are from the beer scene. Definitely see them more than I do my older friends or whatever, my family even at this point. So, you know, just and just like the welcomingness behind it too, right? Like I'm a guy who's from Montreal who writes in English in Quebec about beer, and I don't think anyone's ever said shit to me about it, like, which is so impressive given the history of language and in this province and all of that, and like no one ever really caring about that component of it. Like if I always felt very welcoming in that way, and just meeting new people and exploring and diving into things and just having fun and just silliness, and be able to write a whole article where I get to make fun of you all terribly. And then you smile about it after. But fuck you, Gab, for scaring the shit out of me. So I posted the article, which, you know, attacks her, and then she had a friend message me saying, Gab just ran into the bathroom. What the hell did you say to her? Which was like 10 minutes after I sent the article to her.
Wow.
And so my heart went like, and then she messaged me separately. And
can you imagine? Wow.
Now you're on my shit list forever.
You don't want to be on that list, Gab. It's dangerous. Yeah, Max, Kev, Gab, what your thoughts on the positive side of all of this? Whoever wants
I would say the positive side is like we have a really, really creative state for beer. Like, I don't know if there's any rank into the world, but I think Quebec is pretty active, and not being just active, being really good. And you can have like products every week or 2 weeks. You have new products that are pushing the limits of what we know or going back to classics. The quality is amazing, and people, even for me, still like, I'm super happy like a kid on a Christmas day when I'm receiving like shipments. I'm like, oh shit, this is a new one. and like, and it's for me. And then the customers, they are super happy to see what's up, what's new, what's interesting this week. And it's really fun to be able to bring a selection of beer to our people in our neighborhood, you know. And this is what creates something different. And this is why people like to come to our place. We talk about the beer. We talk freely about the beer. And this is what's good about it, you know. We wanted to do a social club like Canette, but like we can't because it's a special. We are a store. We can't be a social club, but like we like the idea between connecting people with the beer and for their parties, for after work or anything, you know. Just having fun with it, being real, being humans. That's what I like about it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Max, Gab, whoever wants to go.
Yeah. The positive side, you know, of the Quebec craft scene is just what brings me there. You know, I just saw an opportunity in life to have fun doing what I want, and you know, just having it as a job. And obviously it's more than just a job, because we met people along the way. And in example at BG, I joined them because Pierre Hugo was there. Pierre Hugo was a friend of mine that I discovered. We just met at the Barberie, and we just decided to be partner, to join the experience and to have fun along the way. Be creative, but fun is the prince. It's kind of the main thing all along the way, because you had so many as a brewery owner. We had so many like Quebec old laws, you know, Recipe Quebec and you know, RACG and that kind of stuff that are so boring. But all I want, you know, all I want as a brewery owner is to have fun. Like this project, create something like funky, something new, something positive. With, you know, I had so much fun like talking with you in the chat. Sometime I was like, I just missed like an hour, and I was like, oh shit, 90 messages, unread messages. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna keep it for later, because you guys were all texting like, yeah. You were like friendly bitching each other.
Yeah.
And but the fun part was that we all want the same objective. It's like the success of the project, and to have fun along the way. So it's a really good example of why I am doing it.
Love it.
I definitely want to give a shout out to Kevin. He sort of the project really started off really hot, and we were all very excited and into it, and then it sort of hit a little bit of a lull. And Kevin was always the one that would poke it, that chat back alive. I'm talking about like in November, maybe leading into December. And then anytime that I would come back to like Canette throughout that week, Kevin would be like, I poked the chat. I started that conversation to keep it back up at the top again. And it worked. It really worked. So shout out to Kevin for that.
Good work, Gab. Talk to us, Gab.
What?
Yeah, okay. For me, well, before I was Hoppy Bitch, I was myself, of course, Gabri-Ailes on Instagram, and I'm in the beer industry for 7 years, I think. My fun at this moment, I don't really know beer, but my fun was to travel. So I do like 130 brewery, I think. I stopped counting. So my fun was to go to the brewery. But at this moment, I was not buying beer because I was in Quebec City. And if you live to Limoilou, you have like 6 brewery on the same street. So, and I always have a lot of going to the brewery, and the brewer, the boss, the propriétaire was always very nice, and so I was starting to more like beer more. Okay, sorry for that.
No, you're good.
I'm tired. And so I started to put on my personal Instagram beer, but I was too a musician. I was too I am I have a company, a bad bomb company. So I put bad bomb, I put kids, I put cats. So one of my friends told me, why don't you become an influencer? We want free beer. I was like, shut up, I will never do that. 2 years after my friend told me that, we were in the Noctem, I remember. And so I decided to start Hoppy Bitch just for fun. And I do it. Honestly, I was thinking I was going to have 100 followers. And after one day, I got 500 followers. I was like, eh? What the fuck is happening? So it became completely crazy. But I think I have people was very nice with me. I never look. I make joke, but I never receive a dick pic. The only time I was thinking I was receive a dick pic, I was so happy. I was with my sister.
So happy.
Oh my god! I received my first dick pic. But in Instagram, you have to click on the photo to see it. If you don't know the person, you will not believe me. It was a Jesus picture.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that, by the way. I mean, I don't.
So it was Jesus. I was like, no, I wanted my first dick pic. So I never received dick pic.
I had a robe.
No one ever scream at me in a festival or online.
Yes, you started it almost during the pandemic.
Yeah, like 2 months after the pandemic. So
I think we're gonna be okay. All of us at beer festivals, we're gonna have a good time. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, but I went
hang
to
out. Come yell at me in my face. Come yell at me in my face. I want to hear your death metal growls. If you think you can do a better death metal growl than me at a festival, come and scream in my face, please.
No, but I was scared because people telling me, oh, La Petite Bière was a lot of slut shaming. People one day in a festival scream at her like this. I was like, oh my God. So I was very scared. So when I go to festival, I have panic attack in the car and I don't want to go anymore because I'm like,
we're all there for you. If you come, you hang out with us.
But I didn't know that all of you or a lot of people are there for me before the big slut shaming things come out. And I was like, I was sad. Of course, I was sad about it, but I wasn't sad for a long time, like 2 hours.
We all wrote you.
Yeah, because everyone called me, text me, genre, very positively things. So I put the negativity. I really don't care. So for myself, beer industry is positive, but I would like people talk more about beer with me than the other things englobing this. So yeah, and a part of what I do. I start Hoppy Bitch because I wanted to show to Monsieur, Madame, tout le monde, like everyone, old people or young people or whatever, that beer. And I think I did great because my my employees, my coworkers, always call me, hey, what can I drink tonight, blah blah, and that people was only drinking like Unibrew or Trou du Diable. So
the mission is accomplished.
yes, exactly. And with my family too, exactly. There wasn't like only Guinness, and now every week.
You have to send us a picture in the thread. You probably won't post it there, but I want to see a picture of your dad drinking the straight out.
I will. Okay, I will do it. He's shy, but he will.
So don't post it, but I want to see it.
We'll post it. He's proud. And yeah, that's it. So I like it to show people who don't know beer. Like I have my boss, my boss every Friday, we talk 30 minutes, and we always talk about wine, cocktail, beer, and it's very fun because the only beer he was drinking was La Fin du Monde de Unibrew. The only thing he was drinking, and a bit of cider. So now he feels like more confident when he go to a shop.
He's a big guy. Drinking Fin du Monde is not for everybody.
Yeah.
I received Fin du Monde today.
It's a good beer, but for
The
it to be
second
your
bottle-
only beer.
The second bottle is always a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, La Fin du Monde. It's La
750
Fin
or
du
the
Monde.
341.
Yeah, fuck.
So
I
Speaking
Should
about
we do
horrible
the
mistakes, let's talk
last one?
about Noah's
Yeah.
Cola.
Oh,
Wow, good one. The
Good
segues
one.
tonight.
I like
Okay, so if it's Noah's part, I gotta go. I'm tired. See ya.
Wow. Okay, bro. Love you. Bye.
Who are you actually? Like, where did you come from?
I'll see you tomorrow for the beer pickup.
Oh yeah, I'm coming tomorrow too.
Are you going
What?
tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm going
There's a
tomorrow.
horrible snowstorm tomorrow. You're not going anywhere.
Really? I don't have it.
Yes.
Well, isn't like. Are you sure?
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah,
I cancel my plans tomorrow.
me too.
Seriously?
Well, my plans are now going to be go sliding.
Oh.
Be down a hill.
Oh, it's snowing right now. No shit.
I'm going to see cats with my family. Yeah.
You guys got
Like
snow in
stray
Montreal?
cats, like in the streets.
Bad
Yeah, we
smell.
do.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Just
This is
snow.
You don't even know what snow is in Montreal.
Oh, you're
Oh.
so right, Max. You're
What are you,
so
like,
fucking
Winnipeg?
Are you
right.
serious?
Yo,
Yeah.
when it's snowing and cool, it's like, oh my god, it's snowing. You
Yeah.
never
I
been
just
to
saw a
Quebec.
snowflake. Oh,
In Quebec City, it's pretty deep, and when you go to Micro des Beauprés, it's even worse. Like,
Good for you.
I didn't know
so
that.
Noah mentioned the origins of this
That's why
beer a
I'm
little bit
cheap,
earlier.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noah and
Yeah.
Max talk about
So, like I was saying earlier, I want the idea behind this project. What excited me about this project was to ask Max to do something that I haven't had in a long time, or that just isn't really done much anymore. And so I had the idea of doing an American Strong. So something like Arrogant Bastard from Stone, or Double Bastard, which is even like an 11% version of it. But it's basically like a dark amber, very resinous, bitter beer that's very malty and is kind of in that spectrum of the early days of like really throwing or bitter beers, you know, like even like you're talking about Sierra Nevada's pale ale, and that was kind of like the start of, I think, the craft beer revolution in the States. and then leading to these more really aggressive beers. This was, to me, this was one of those styles. It's not a barley wine, but it has elements that remind me of an American barley wine sometimes. But still, it's kind of its own thing. Like it has that caramel, but not quite as much as like a barley wine would. And because it's so highly hopped, it has like a zestiness to it in a weird way. But it's more herbal and piney than it is like, a New England kind of thing or whatever.
I feel like this is the perfect beer to drink in a pub when you're a bit tipsy. And in a full old school wooden pub, when the floor is sticky and the beer would get you into a fight. Don't fight at home, but it's that,
especially not when you're alone.
Yeah, exactly.
My kids are in the other room. Like, I'll start yelling at them.
Yeah, let's go. Perfect. But like,
they're asleep. I'll just wake them up to yell at them.
And it's an old school beer. Like, it's a bomb of maltiness, and I really enjoyed it. And as you said, it's like a baby barley wine, but not really, but a bit. I would love to have the little sister of this one, like or four perfines.
We will call it.
That'd be really good.
No. I'd be there.
That's interesting. Max, your mindset behind the recipe, is it basically an amped up Rus?
Yeah, I think it's more like an Imperial Rus.
Yeah.
No, to be honest, for the American Strong Ale, I had to look at the BGCP, which is like the guideline for brew styles. And from my souvenir of the Arrogant Bastard Ale, and it's like Noah said, it's like not a barley wine, not a Rus. It's kind of a more like malty, bitter and hoppy beer, but not a barley wine. And it's kind of an interesting, an interesting style, because it has that drinkability, but it's more imperial than the others, standard English styles. It has its like American twist, which is the hops, obviously. Like the choice of hops in this one is Chinook and Saz, which is interesting. Like
Sad has that herbal thing.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
really,
what I like about it
really
is like you have again that super easy highly drinkability. When the first sip is like super easy to drink, then you get hit by all the aromas, and then you want to take another sip and another sip again. And this is it's a highly drinkable 7.5 beer.
Yeah. I think you nailed it.
Well, it's
I
the
wasn't
beer
sure how it would turn out. I was confident that it would be good, but I think it's awesome.
I think it's the
I'm
most
excited to see what
original
people
beer.
think in the community.
Yeah, the style was like not eclectic, but it's an unknown style.
It's an archaic almost style.
Archaic. Yeah.
I haven't drank it except for an Arrogant Bastard, honestly. And that was on tour when I was in Denmark, if I'm being super honest.
and I think from my souvenir, Arrogant Bastard was kind of more bitter, even more. But this one is kind of the malty, just the right level of bitterness, and the equilibrium is kind of just on point. Would be cool to see that in the barrel age program.
I love that. Yeah,
what would you put it in? What kind of barrels would be good for this, would you think?
I don't know. I think you can explore like wine or rye barrels. I don't know.
Or even like tequila could be interesting.
Yeah, tequila or red wine.
Yeah, red wine. Actually, I like that idea.
To accentuate the fruity side. I don't know. Maybe
tequila would bring out the spiciness of it, though.
Yeah. It's a really interesting beer.
Or
Just
gin.
looking at the color. Ooh, gin could be good because of the botanicals. Yeah. Like looking at the color compared to the West Coast, like it's like this deeper brown.
Yeah.
Is this? Does anyone remember? Is that the color of Aragon Blasted? Because I had it. Yeah,
I had it in a bottle in Denmark.
So did you look at it?
Yeah.
I would have done
I remember
the same.
it being dark.
Remember it being dark?
Maybe slightly more amber. I don't know, but like it was always dark.
It's just such a like. You know what's interesting? It's like, you know how whenever you do anything in life, you kind of always want to put that experience in a box, like to understand the parameters of what is this supposed to be, and particularly with something like beer, whilst the style technically like shouldn't matter, kind of as what we were saying earlier. Do you like it? Cool, then drink it. But I'm sort of like struggling to put it into a box because I think you're right there, Max. It's like an imperial roost, which is probably the closest thing. No, what do you reckon, Kev? It's the mini barley wine. You think is more accurate?
I mean, I'm not happy with the term roost because the term roost to me is like an Irish red ale, which is absolutely bland to me. But like I like all the bitter style from the England side and with the noble malt and everything. So I'd rather
like an imperial ESB.
Yeah, ESB bitter, even English pale ale. Yeah, just because the word roost is such like has been so much everywhere. You can have a roost from any breweries, and like it's mostly the first beer you're gonna try because you like a bit of the caramel. But this is way more complex than a roost. But maybe it's just a concept to me that you said roost, I'm gonna say no.
Yeah. You know what? I actually agree with you. You're right. I had a few ESBs lately, and I think you're exactly right. It feels like a ramped up version of that with the a little bit more like I feel like I'm almost now like, is there a bit of dark fruits in this, like some raisins?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some dates too.
Oh, for sure.
Raisins and dates. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's such an interesting thing, and I think that like like you were saying, I think someone said earlier, like this is a style that I don't think has ever existed in Quebec, and our palates now, even though all of us have been drinking craft beer for quite some time, our palates now are like so adjusted to the modern trendy shit, whether it's crispies or haze or smoothies or pastries or whatever it might be. This is so, it's a like Noah said that Guillaume mentioned that it's like a blast to the past type of thing.
Yeah.
When you smell it, but I'm struggling to place it. Like, what am I drinking? It's an interesting experience because all the other beers, super unique. And all the other beers are very obvious. There's a crispy, there's a stout, there's a West Coast. Cool. They're in the buckets. I understand what that is. This is I was gonna say challenge, that's not the right word. It's a different experience.
It's like it's a rediscovery of attacking craft beer, and for ourselves, well, for Max for brewing it, and then for ourselves for trying to describe it.
Yeah,
and I wasn't ready for that beer at all. The other beers I really enjoyed it, but this one I was like, oh shit, okay.
What is this?
I'm like, I want more. I want more of that style, and if that beer, thanks to the pack, could be more popular, a bit like the Schwarzbier, the Schwarzbier have been like going hard lately, it's coming back and like it's well made, it's often highly drinkable. I'm like, ooh, the strong ale could be like the next step,
The next Schwarzbier.
Yeah, you never know. I'd like to.
It would be cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say like what. Yeah, go on, Max, please. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. For a point of view, I am a producer and I like to do like dark lagers. You mentioned Schwarzbier and that kind of stuff, but I guess you know it at La Canette. Maybe it doesn't sell well, but I want it. I want it to be back on the market. And like people enjoy it like in their everyday life, but it's not the same. Like the customers have their own taste, and you can just put it right into their mouth. Just there is that kind of style that we really enjoy, but people are not not.
Yeah, they're not gonna buy it, and they're not gonna make Brasserie Générale floats. You need to do and to go with the hazes, but like this is, yeah.
I feel like Quebec's version of this beer is a Belgian double, like that, 7 to 8%, but
dark, sticky
instead
raisins.
of hoppy and bitter, it's phenolic and, well, like, yeah, more phenolic or whatever. But I feel like it's in that realm of sweet versus bitter versus whatever. It's a rich beer, but it's not as rich as an imperial stout or barley wine.
I think the double is like more sweet and heavy than this one.
Yeah,
but I feel like the bitterness helps cut through this, because I still find it pretty rich. It's just drinkable because of that, but I don't know in terms of gravity or whatever.
Yeah, this beer is rich, but definitely the bitterness helps cut through all the sugars. But yeah, it's a little bit sweeter than the previous one we got.
What's the response been? And I know this is like this shit is like
before the response, I would go into the promotion.
Okay, we can talk about that.
I would dance into the promotion before the response on my
Loving
side.
it. By the way, I always appreciate having another podcaster on. It just like I almost feel like I can just chill. It's awesome. I appreciate you.
Let me take it from the top.
Run it.
Let's talk about how we promote this stuff. It was a whole.
Yes.
From the beginning, we knew that we would have something organized. We knew that we would come up with an idea together. I'm very lucky that Chris Kells from The Agonist, who does a lot of video stuff for Vox Hops, and me got drunk at Brewski in October and wanted to come up with an idea together to promote something together. He had this idea, and I knew that would be perfect for Juste Bière. So that's what we did. Let's talk about the promotion of this project and what steps we took to make it happen.
Yes.
We could start with the experience of hanging out together and talking smack at Turbo House. Shout out to Turbo House for letting us film there, because they're amazing. Let's talk about filming that promo stuff and how that all came to be.
That was so much fun. It was at a time where things were just about to start opening up, but they hadn't yet. So we hadn't seen people for a while. And so we went to Turbo House while they were closed and sat in a circle, but pretty far away from each other. So it was safe and all that. But it was, the idea, I don't want to steal anyone like the thunder behind like the actual idea. I'd love, Matt, for you to explain that, like what it is a parody of or whatever.
Oh yeah, but it was Kels's idea. He really wanted to do like a parody of that 70s show. Originally the idea was for Brutal Montreal, where it would be the bands walking down the street, and then we'd all walk into Corona, which is the venue that was Brutal Montreal. And it didn't work out with Eventco, so this is where we recycled the idea for Juste Bière. So Kels has had this idea for months and months, and we just used it for this project because we thought it was just so perfect. And he really had the idea of like us talking smack against each other, making fun of each other until people arrive. And Kels is
I didn't
amazing.
realize it was all that was his original idea.
It's
a play on that 70s show, which is the scene in the basement where
the smoke
with every episode, or often where they would end up getting high together and then the camera would shift from one person to the other or whatever. But for me, it was just such a blast to like come up with ad lib insults for each other. Like that was one of the most entertaining times I've had in a very long time. It was a little bit of work too. It was 4 or 5 hours long, sitting in that one chair and just like doing take after take. But like there were
And
moments
Kels knows when
where,
he's good. Like Kels knows when he gets something, and
yeah,
he like we did like a whole intro thing, and then I've never spoken to him about this, and I haven't seen him since, so I haven't asked him. But once he started making us do it over and over again, I think he already knew in his mind that he was scrapping everything that we did before that.
like the whole like
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah,
to create the like almost more scripted,
yeah.
and then
And we had a few meetings. I think we had 2-3 meetings to like fuck around with what we were going to do. And we had to be, and I'll let Craig pick up on this, is the PC police on ourselves, because there's certain limits that we wanted to poke to make it be like beyond. We're basically being parodies of ourselves, is what we wanted it to be, and we wanted to poke fun on the toxicity in the scenes via the parodies of ourselves. But we had to be careful about what is PC. With my experience of Cryptopsy, your experience of what happened with you in the past, and what's going on with the cancel culture right now, we wanted to be very aware of what was acceptable, even if we're just making fun of each other.
Exactly.
One thing I just want to say, and I don't think I told you this, Matt, but when we were filming, you were going so over the top that like I was like, what's he doing? Like it's so like over the top. And then when you watch it on film, it's just so fucking good. Like it was brilliant. Like because I always I'm always kind of like the straight man or whatever. Like I'm always very like, it's my thing. But you were just like going at it hard, and in person it felt weird, and then when you watch it, it was like this fucking like my favorite scene of the whole thing is,
How many
I mean,
isms are there?
it's you, but it's also his editing, which he did brilliantly, where it goes back to you again saying, no, but for real, like it's gonna be this, and like the Black Velvet thing.
That's a real idea. That's
then,
a
like,
real
You told me about that, Eddie.
collab idea.
It's your and then the ass, like you just screaming pans to Craig, and Craig's just like he has that perfect look, and he's like, what are you, 12?
No, we were so lucky. Kels is amazing. He's done
perfect.
music videos for countless bands, including my own, Cryptopsy, The Agonist, Sixth Sense, so many. He's really amazing. You guys should hire him. Hire him. He's the best. Mihelo did amazing pictures. Who else wants to talk about this promo thing? We did some reels. We did some trailers. We wanted to just create the most amount of hype discussions. I wanted people to basically understand. Not understand, but question what the hell was going on, basically.
Yeah, and like you said, we had to be. I think we did a good job of it, but we were, because I had been in the situation where I had been in the hot seat before. I didn't want any of us to deal with that shit because of something that was so positive. Because so many people, so many brands would have been affected, and I think if this was in Ontario, I think it'd be a different situation. I think we're fortunate in Quebec, people aren't as uptight, maybe is the word, which in hindsight is valuable. But it was really fun experience doing this thing, and sort of, we had the meetings and figured it out, and we're like, I hope people understand that we're just fucking around. We're not, we're not attacking each other. And actually recording it was, I found it really difficult because I genuinely love all you guys, and I didn't want to. I had trouble making fun of you. Like it was hard for me.
Hilarious for that.
It was just difficult. Like obviously, me and Kevin tell each other terrible things all day long on here, but every time I see Kevin, we hug. And it's obviously the fun of making me and another group chat. It's me and Noah going at each other all the time and stuff like that. So it's like fun, but when you're saying it to someone's face that you don't mean it, I found it difficult. But I thought all of you guys did such an exceptional job. Like you guys cracked me the fuck up. all of you did such a great job. Gab, you were so funny as well. Like, because you were opposite, Gab was opposite me. So I couldn't really see you most of the time because the camera was in the way. So I really got to see it after, like, watching.
And I'm small, so.
Yeah, so you're like down. Kels is like,
burger.
Do you remember I was sitting on a big, because
we had to be the same height. We had to be when he rotated. Yeah, that's funny. I had forgotten that.
It was just so like well done.
Yeah, I had to sit on something too.
Yeah.
It was just such a like funny thing.
Beer,
like,
big beer reviews, small stature.
Yeah, but me too. I was feeling very like I was so anxious. I was asking to my friend to talk shit about you, and I was writing because I was like, I don't know what to say about them. And one of my friends say, my boyfriend say, yeah, but you can talk about Noah just doing some black background. I never think about it. It's just the picture that he did, but oh yeah, finally it was so funny. Or yeah, I don't know what the other thing that. Anyways, so I have to ask my friend because I didn't know what to say, and like I'm not very good when I was mannequin, so I'm okay with the camera, but not the movie camera. So
that's exactly what you said to me. The first time we sat down there, you looked up the netting that he held over the light. You're like, last time I saw one of those, I was naked underneath, and I was 16.
Oh yeah,
that's what you told me.
16.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I missed that.
Someone's going to jail. Yeah.
No. I was 19. 19.
Sorry,
I was
my bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, I was 19.
No one's going to jail. No. But it was just so funny.
Yeah.
Maybe Matt.
Like all of y'all were just so funny, and I felt like we were all like obviously all of us have experience in front of cameras, but like it was a different type of situation, and I knew that because we're all friends, all we had to do was do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a few tests, and then we get in the swing of it. And I found that we did that. Obviously, Kevin came in at the end, so he, you had to come and get used to it. Like, even though your scene was at the end, you were like, man, like, come on, you guys have been doing this for like 3 hours. I came in here right now, and that was a very good point.
What was your mindset when you came in there? I've never asked you this question. Well, we took the metro home that night, and I went to bed, and I was like buzzing, and I had a hard time going to sleep. But what was your mindset when you walked in and you watched us?
Dude, I thought you guys had script, or you were just like so focused into it. I was like, what the fuck? I couldn't be doing that shit. Like I was.
It took a while to get there.
Yeah, but like same. It took a while. I'm like, oh, this is fun. I'm making fun of you guys. Okay, you fuck up your line and everything, and then I'm like, oh, I have to say the last line. I didn't do shit for like 3 hours. I'm like, oh, the stress.
I was just screaming, bushy, and I was thinking, oh my god, my mom will hate me so much.
But
you had to do that line a bunch of times because it was a long one, so you needed to like.
And what it comes back to the chat we're having, and like everybody is like respectful, at each other, and during the filming was the same stuff. Nobody was like crossing boundaries or anything. Everybody was really like polite and like, okay, this is fun. We need to do it by like the next hour, and went super good for that. It shows in the video, thanks to Chris, but like it shows like you guys did a great job.
Thank you.
How about you, Max? Did you know that we would give you something like this? Did you ever imagine that we would give you a promotional tool such as what we did? Did you ever imagine that?
Honestly, Chris did a really good job on this one. I didn't expect anything at all. The whole meeting was set up in Montreal. I was still in Quebec, pretty busy, and I was like, okay, cool, they're going to make a video, nice. and based on that 70 show, and I was like, okay, cool. And you guys just put the whole concept into it, and the more I watch it, like on repeat, and the more I was like getting more the subtle things, and I was like, okay, yeah, I like how you guys just act for the show. And I kind of say I really enjoy watching you, Matt, doing like your shit like so positive, like oh yeah. you were like kind of
was just screaming.
like you didn't give a shit at all what they were saying. You were like, oh shit, have you seen his her post and like black metal velvet?
The real idea, it's coming. 2020, 2023. It's coming.
And we are
Black
all
Metal Velvet.
screaming. Well, when we are all screaming on each other, you can hear Matt screaming.
Yeah.
Stop saying. But why? And Craig say, why the
like your
fuck
shirt.
she's screaming at me in Quebec?
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't know how the person did ever notice that, you know, Craig was talking about the Vegemite, like the
Vegemite.
Yeah, I mean, I never understood that at all. It was like kind of too fast and too like if you had a potato in your mouth, man. I was like, okay, I didn't get it at all. But
That's awesome.
The whole film was like really cool, and we had a lot of fun watching it at Beijing.
You know what's fun about it is like people thought at like 90% that it was like a next podcast or a series of like shitting on each other's or on product, on beer, because what about that? What's beautiful about C'est juste la bière?
That makes sense, actually. I didn't think that they would have thought that, but it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense. And like people are like, oh wait, it's a 4-pack. I'm like, yeah, always been.
I didn't know that either.
It's just a beer.
It's just a beer, and like that's fun because people like resonating with the fact that it's just beer from a lot of sides. People love to see each other shitting on smoothies and everything because they feel the same way, and this is where C'est juste la bière is like really important. You know, people like connecting to it. They're connecting to the fun we had, and they're connecting to the message of it.
Next step, I want to talk about Ramay, obviously.
Yeah.
Branding, just so damn good, so easy. Max, I discovered Ramay thanks to you. I love him, and this can is like an assembly of lots of our implications. Obviously, Craig and I have the same beer face.
Very convenient.
It's ridiculous that it is that way, but it is the way that it is. You had sent me the first options of what it was going to be, and I obviously chose my metal face. There was another option of me with a very happy face that I didn't like, but the colors were this, and Kevin said it should be these colors. So let's talk about the creation of the can art and Ramay Lasser illustrations. Ramay is fucking amazing. You've been working with him for a long time. Let's talk about the creation of everything that came into the branding of the cans.
Yeah, Ramay is, is kind of our key parts for our recent success, and I have so much fun working with him. Ramay is kind of a creative guy. I just imagine it when I just pitch a name and saying, okay, here's the name, here's the beer, here's the guy, the deadlines, and I just keep picturing him like I don't even know if he smoked weed, but I just imagine him like smoking a big spliff and kind of okay, and making version of things. But his artwork is kind of.
Have you ever met Ramay?
Insane. Yeah.
Okay. Just the way you're speaking is as you guys have never met.
He came by Quebec City right before the release we had on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And I just give him a ride to the Charlebois brewery, and I just giving him a big case, and we just discuss a lot of things. We spend the whole afternoon together. And you know, if we keep focus on the process of the whole thing, the whole project, Romain, he likes to work with us because he get that creative and that, you know, that I think that line where we like funky things, like we like to explore, like we don't want to cross the social line, you know, that could get us in trouble. But sometimes with names we like to play with, you know, some
Did he do
line.
Horacio?
Yeah, it is. Actually, the Horacio is the beer that, you know, made us met together, and he just write to us on Instagram and say, "Hey, I like the idea. I want to make the label." And I was like, "Okay,
Really?
who the fuck
I
are
didn't
you?"
know that. Okay, very
And
very
there
cool.
is his website, and I saw that he already did like a lot of labels for Les Grands Bois.
Yeah.
And Romain did seized us. No, I don't think I could say that, but en français, il nous a cerné. Donc, he made the difference between BG and the Grand Bois, and we just
finding your identity. Yeah.
And like about that identity, this is, yeah, now you're stuck with Romain with the new recipe and everything. And like this, but this is great because people, when they see it, they don't see Le Grand Bois, they see Brasserie Générale. And it keeps going and going, and like, you know, just by the color palette and by the design, this is BG.
It was super important for us to have a continuity. So Romain is part of it. And about the C'est juste la bière, the 4-pack, I just pitched in the whole idea, the main idea, and it was really fun to share with you, you know, to kind of see the process, like to share to you the first.
It's always amazing to get 3 options, right? That's what a lot of designers typically send 3 options.
Yeah,
and then you get to choose what we like.
You have those 3 versions, and you're like, okay, I like it from this one, I like it from this one, I like it from this one. Can we make like a blend of this? And as you guys said earlier, you had an option of like a more like not hardcore faces, but kind of a more realistic Craig face and Matt face. And there was a version where you were like kind of too happy, like kind of too okay, yeah, I'm like not
I like
bunny,
that, Matt.
He likes happy man. I was like,
I like face. We choose the color.
No way I'm releasing a happy man.
So it just brings us right here to the logo de C'est juste la bière.
And that was like really hard to find. I think the hardest part of this project was to decide the logo, the colors, and everything, because the rest went pretty easy, but this was like, okay, I looked at it in the morning at 12 p.m. I'm like, I want the number 3. And then everybody changed their mind in the same day. Like, okay, number 2 is good, but number 3 is good too. I like was like,
we like blended them.
Yeah.
Especially having like 6 person involved, it's kind of difficult, but it was pretty easy. You know,
the easiest project I've ever done. This is a massive project, and this is the easiest one I've ever done.
Yeah, it was fun. It was like the continuity of all the process we had along the way. And so it was not difficult at all, to be honest. It was just like everybody like just gave their opinions, but kind of it goes like the whole project, like straightforward. Like we had a destination, and we just go right through it and having fun.
Also, and now here we are. Where is this going? Back where Craig was going before. What is the reception of where we're at.
How is like from what you guys have seen, both in the media side, like do people think we're yelling at each other, we're a bunch of assholes, and also from the beer, because the pack is, you know, is bitter forward, it's traditional styles with a twist. Every single one of them got a little twist on there. You know, what from both sides, from this goes to everybody. What have you seen? I mean, I've only seen positive comments. People like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. And laughing at the videos and how everyone's yelling at each other and stuff, and the different lines. Everybody has like a nice little zinger in there, nice little like funny lines. Like, yeah, what's the vibes? I mean, I guess the beer would probably be mostly for Kevin and Max, and for the other guys, like, what have you seen for the promo?
Mine is already on tap, and people bash it because it's too bitter. Yeah, it's too bitter for them.
Maybe they should stick to water.
Yeah.
Too bitter.
Right.
Shut the fuck
Yeah, but
it was funny. It was a funny comment.
Also, we have to take note that all untapped users, it's just about their own taste and not like about the quality of the beer. So
that's true.
I go read the God Save the Hoppy Bitch review. I was so traumatized. There was a guy who was saying, "Oh, it's a weird white beer." I'm like, what? It's a black IPA. What, you don't understand? He was like it was a white beer. Well, so at this moment, I was like, fuck Untapped.
Yeah, Untapped is a tool, so you have to, you know, with this whole project, just with the orientation of the products, you know, I just know from the beginning that, you know, you cannot take it and for words, because it's not going to New England IPAs or big sours and that kind of stuff. So right on, you're like, okay, let's fuck it. We're old school, and so it's not the people we want to talk to. The whole project is like, c'est juste de la bière. So just let's go back to a time capsule, as I think Kev just said, and you just cracked the can and you said, okay, yeah, I'm fucking 10 years back. So I like it. This is the whole idea of the project. C'est juste la bière. Like, let's fuck the snobism and have fun along the whole process.
Facts. Yeah, couldn't agree more, man. I want to keep going. I just want to take a screenshot because I'm seeing my camera's flashing red, and I actually don't know what happens in Zoom if we do it. So I'm going to take a screenshot for the thumbnail for YouTube. So do you want to hold up maybe just hold up your own can?
Yeah.
And then Max and Kev can hold up whatever. Everyone ready? Oh, there you go.
Should we try and reproduce the face on?
Yes. Oh, that is stunning. Okay, we can keep going. I just wanted to get that before that dies, just in case. Yeah, I hope people do understand. I hope people will go into it and be like, oh, what's an American strong ale? And they'll come out of it. I'm talking the drinkers here. We're learning something about a style, because maybe they know what a West Coast is. They know obviously what a stout is. They know what a Pilsner is. Like, what the fuck is a strong ale? And, they get to try it. And I feel like all four of these beers, now drinking them all back to back, it has a theme. There's a theme here with that bitterness, with that dryness, with the balance, with the quality here, which everyone expects from BG. I think it's just like an interesting bunch of beers with an obvious theme. And you can tell, you look at this, you can tell there's a lot of work that's gone into this.
It's a deep theme too, it's a deep 4-packs. You can be like a beginner in craft beer and enjoy it, and then you can be like a bit more expert. And when I say expert, I want to make sure I don't know shit and you guys don't know shit too. It's a work in progress, right? Mm-hmm. That like you can find your palate will find some different stuff that you wouldn't have 2 years ago. And it's an easy drinking product for everybody, and this is what makes it's super interesting for everybody. Like, you can't not like it. If you don't like it, you don't like beer. I mean, you don't know where beer is from, you know?
Yeah. No,
it's not about a logo. It's not about a logo, right?
Not at all. The opposite. Yeah, I think I'm just really proud of this project. Like, sort of in summary here, like I feel like I'm proud of what we put together. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this with you guys. Like, you know, Matt was saying, it's easy. It's probably one of the easiest projects I've done as well, as far as like, we all figured it out pretty quickly. It took a while to do it. You know, we started talking about it in October. Now it's March. So it's about 6 months, but you know, we had to figure it out. Max had to build it into his brewing schedule. He had to do 4 different beers.
Yeah.
One of them he had to dump. One of them had to sit for 6 weeks and had canning issues. Like, you know, it was an ordeal. And, you know, there was so many different moving parts. There's 6 of us plus Romain plus Chris Kells for the video. And, you know, it's just, even just figuring out the stuff as small as the rolling out, you know, me and Matt, because obviously I have a social media agency and Matt does this a lot. So we just figured it out. You guys trusted us, which I really appreciated. We're like, hey guys, what are we doing? Boom, me and Matt figured it out. And it was, everyone kind of played their role really well. And like, I don't know, I fuck with you guys, man. I love you all. I think you're all just wonderful human beings. Yeah, man.
I'm proud of us. It was an absolute pleasure. My finishing question is, what's next? And that's a complex question. Let's say
Biere too.
Let's say that it goes well. Max has been fucking around with the question of, if it all sells and it goes well, we're gonna do this again. I'm interested in that, but my question really is, and it's something that came up during the Baron Mag interview, an idea that I had. How can we take this message even further?
Oh, I have the perfect answer for it. We need to reach La Poche Bleue.
Oh. No, my answer for Leonardo was what if we fragment the team and we each go somewhere across the globe, whether it be Quebec or somewhere else, and we create the same project in a different territory with 3 other influencers, beer media people. Like,
like COVID, you know.
Exactly.
Like the same.
Spreading it.
You just have to spread worldwide.
C'est juste du COVID, dude.
Romain would be happy because he has to draw so many people's faces, but that's my idea for this, like how we can spread this idea. Yeah.
Could be really cool, but like we need to find people that share the same love and energy from it.
Yeah, to be honest, even in Ontario, there's not the same amount of people. Like, I really couldn't put the same. I feel like there's not what we have here in Quebec with us, and there's a couple of others as well. There isn't really, even in Ontario, which I'm kind of 50-50 with the 2. I don't have the same out there. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually
strange. It's interesting how we're so connected and we're so involved.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for it. When I was thinking, I can't remember why. I was thinking about it recently, or I had to do something recently, and I couldn't come up with the same. It was very easy for me to come up with, oh yeah, all my people in Quebec, boom, 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 boom. And then in Ontario, I'm like, oh, well, there's Nate.
Yeah.
No, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really have anybody else.
Well, I can't tell if it's just the cultural thing, or if even social media plays a role in it, because Quebec is very Facebook centric, and I think Facebook just does a better job of creating that kind of
community.
Yeah, it's not to praise Facebook by any stretch, but
not praising. They pay my bills.
I don't know. There's just something about the Quebec beer scene that's tight. Like if you just think about all the Facebook groups that the Quebec beer scene has, there's like 10 of them, right? There's always been a bunch, and one will die, and a new one will come, and that one will die, or whatever. I've been watching it for 10 years. But in Ontario or the rest of Canada,
there's like one
kind of groups, or like there was the Canada craft beer, and then that eventually died.
So we need to do a tele-reality show from the
keeping up with the
of brewery in Quebec. I was not
a bad idea.
I say that because before the podcast, I was looking with Emil a new TV show on Netflix, and it's just Australian
Base.
influencer.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
ridiculous. I started
Yo,
watching it too.
I go to their Instagram, and they have less followers than me. And I'm like,
Wow.
Yo, they have a TV show? What? I don't want
Okay.
one TV show.
I got you, Hoppy B. My neighbor works in TV. I got you.
You want to put that could be an idea though, like because I watched that
TV
show.
reality.
I feel like there could be something there, like
Four of
Netflix.
us in a house
Ooh,
Oh,
with beer.
We need
Six
PAs
of us.
Servier though.
Max said no.
Or
He
bring
said
mine
no.
too, but
and we need
like
no.
a yes, no, like I like the idea, but you know,
But as the brewery though, honestly though, like you did the smaller brew of this. Is the idea of doing this in a bigger batch an option?
yeah, I think. But the idea of the whole 4-pack, I think it could be reconsidered. We could do it like periodically, like c'est juste et voilà.
Like keep changing it?
or
Okay.
We changed the stuff.
changing it.
Do you want to
may-
rotate the participants, the beer media people?
Or just the
No.
style.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah, shut up,
maybe the style should
I'm
be.
asking the question.
I love you.
What if we do say just our 12-pack?
Yeah, 12-pack.
No, but the idea is good. If we are really popular with that 4-pack, which we are already, like we can do another one in 6 months or next year, like for the second version of it, and people will crave for it because
I think it'd be
they're all
smart,
like
actually.
unique and
It'd be
everything.
smarter to do it that way, actually.
I
Yeah,
do like the idea of like changing up the styles because you've already got the artwork. We could just like change the colors or something.
well, that's what
And
I was
then-
thinking. Like
Yeah,
4
keep
new different beers with the same cans, but we just shift. the
What if
color
we
scheme.
fuck with a different like classic TV show where we're also
Yeah,
that
making
would
fun
be
of each other in a different context though?
That would be
Yeah.
Maybe we should sell the concept to the dragon. You know,
Yeah.
like, will work really well. We could have like a 30. 30
It could be a movie.
shot
It could be a
of
movie.
C'est juste la bière
yeah.
and keep going it up.
honestly,
Mm.
it could work. I'm not joking. There's things that I've seen on Netflix that got money is unbelievable. Like the quality of my YouTube videos are better than the shit I've seen on Netflix. So I'm like, all right, there's definitely something here if we have a cool concept. I feel like all we have to do is cause a bit of fake drama. It's always, and there's like a pattern for these shows because Tiff and I watch them too. Like, do you have a thing? They're planning an event. You invite the person you don't like to an event. You go to the event. You have the drama. Then there's another event, and everyone bitching about it. It's like this whole thing. It's hilarious. It's just
Yeah.
like
this like French English
yeah.
blended thing, and that could be
Shower
niche for
picture,
Quebec.
no shower picture.
Everyone's just in the shower, just like yeah. Okay, let's fucking go.
It would be called cunts. That's it.
You're gonna get me
You know?
canceled, you guys, man.
Twice. I didn't say shit. But
It's the Quebecois. I love Beyonce.
Yeah.
this is a good project. I'm happy that 6 months is typically how long it takes for me to accomplish things that I get drunk and think about. I'm very happy that this is happening, has come to fruition. I'm proud of it. The beers are amazing. You guys couldn't be any better. Amazing content creators. Very happy to be a part of it with you. Kevin, I love you. I come and talk to you at least 3 times a week. Lots of love to you all. Max, you killed it on the beers. I had no doubt on that.
Always.
Let's see what people think about this, and let's make amazing things together in the future.
I would love
If-
to.
If I
Yes,
can say
Kevin.
something, there are lots of people so far are resonating with the idea of C'est juste la bière, and people from the industry, people from outside, and this is, if we can keep that hashtag and conversation going, this is it's already a big win, but it's going to be like a bigger win. if we can make people think the same way we did. And I'm sure people are pissed about some of the behaviors we see. So it's amazing for that.
I love that. I agree. I couldn't agree more, man. I think it's a real positive thing that we're pushing here. The message is positive, and you know, if hopefully people are learning about beer along the way, learning about La Canette, learning about BG if they didn't already know, and showing. I think it's important that we're showing some unity, like that we're all together doing this. We don't have to do this shit together. Everyone, all.
Yeah, fuck the competition. That's it.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about that earlier, and I forgot to. That like we could very easily have been all against each other.
Very easily.
We chose not to be. We chose. I mean, it comes from for myself, like from the mindset of being a musician. You go on tour with someone. You're a crew of people. You're putting on a show together, and I think that's where my sense of let's just collaborate. And when I hit you up back in the day, Craig, I don't know if you remember.
Oh, I remember.
I was like, let's just do some shit together, and you were like, let's do it. And from there, I met Noah, and I met everyone. I remember doing a beer night with you and Noah, and saying, do you know this girl Hoppy, like Gabri? It was before you had Hoppy Bitch. You know this girl Gabby? She likes beer. She was at my 1-year anniversary party. And do you know this girl? And I love bringing people together. I love it. It excites me so much. I love working with people.
I can tell. Yeah, you're the best at it. It's been so cool to do that. Yes, Maxwell. Oh, he's just metal. We're just doing metal. I love it. No, it's great. We got a great bunch of people, man. As long as if we're promoting positivity, we're working together, everybody benefits. I mean, look, that's really all we can ask for. And if we're able, how do I change my camera? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
They'll be hearing you through there. You see the video at the bottom?
Yeah.
Best of the world. We hear you, we don't see you.
There we go. Oh, look, you even see the camera right there. Boom. All right, we got it back.
Look, you still look good though.
Yeah, thanks so much. I appreciate it. No, it's good. I feel like I didn't know what would happen. So that's actually really interesting. That's what happens when it does it. Okay. But yeah, no, it's been cool, like working together. And I was saying, I think to Tiff the other day, I just like that what this represents is this unity with all of us, with, you know, a store, like, you know, bringing in a store that's been an active part of it. And then the brewery, you know, to bring it to life, who believes in the vision as well. Because once again, nobody has to believe in this shit. It could just be some ideas where a drunk like, yo, let's fucking do this. But everybody was down for it, and I hope that it's a good example for people to see, and they can be like, hey man, like all of these people, you know, rock with each other, just like the breweries rock with each other, which is a big inspiration for all of us, I imagine, just to see how friendly everybody is, how much they help each other out, and be like, well, you know, let's be like that. You know, I met Noah back in the day, Matt, when we connected, and so on and so forth. We're all just like, all right, bring in new people. If anyone vouches for anyone that's like, oh yeah, they're cool. They care. They're doing content that's valuable. They're whatever, spending their time, energy, money, and whatever it might be, and making stuff. And if we're able to all contribute to shining a light on positivity, but just craft beer and bringing people in to the industry and just doing some cool ass creative things, you know, at a weird time in human history. This is a fucking weird time to be alive, for real. And it's, you know, lots of strange things happening at all times. No one knows what to think. No one knows what's going on, but we're able to make cool things like this happen. And you know,
it's the first time no one's done shit like this.
I've never seen anything.
One brewery, 4 content creators, 1 craft beer store. No one's done this shit.
No, nothing.
For the love of beer, for the love of the community.
Yeah,
no one's done this shit.
No, I'm super grateful. So if there's any, you know, I'd love to just keep, obviously we've got the chats. Let's, you know, keep it going. Let's keep pushing this. Let's make sure we sell through. Max gets that guap. Kev gets that cash. You know the fuck what I'm saying. And then we'll just see what's going on from there, and just do some more interesting, cool things that will continue to contribute. I just want to keep giving back and contributing. That's what we're all here for. That's what we're all doing. And I don't know, man. I'm grateful to be a part of it. You guys are all champions.
All right.
Even Kevin.
Even
me.
Whoever that guy is.
You know we love you, Kev.
Yeah, he was kind of the motivate guy, you know.
Yeah, he's a motivational speaker.
Yeah,
keeps it going. He's the glue. Some might say the semen. He's the semen that holds it all together, you know?
All right.
Ooh, I like all these emojis. Gab's with that pumpkin. Hey, next. Team pumpkin, team lactose, team latte, pumpkin spice latte.
I like pumpkins. I don't like fucking lactose though.
No, we could do a pumpkin. We could do a whole pumpkin spice pack in October.
That's with 4 origins though.
I'm out.
You guys aren't basic enough. Be more basic. All right, guys, this has been awesome. Thank you all for taking the time and hanging out tonight. This was really great. I just enjoyed like cracking the beers for the first time with you all, and so fucking impressed. So let's go around. Everyone, tell everybody where they can find you online. To my immediate that side is Kevin. I don't know if everyone sees the same screen.
No, it's different.
No. Oh, I have Kevin right here because that's what everyone else at home will be seeing. Kev, where can they see you?
Yeah, you can find me on OnlyFans at Horace Lalancette. There's 50% off on my website right now.
Okay.
I know, and I bought like last week before it went on sale, and now I'm pissed. I don't know why you didn't warn me.
If you want, you can come see me at La Canette Villeray. I'll hook you up.
We'll airdrop it to you, don't worry.
Better.
He's got these special videos, $15 for like 3 minutes of action. I don't know, but
last time you didn't even.
It's just him stocking the fridges at La Canette, though.
You know it.
Exclusive content. Kevin, tell him where to find you aside from your OnlyFans, because obviously you want that.
Oh yeah, it's on the La Canette Villeray. You can find us in the Villeray on the corner of Castelnau and Saint-Hubert. So come say hi.
What?
We have good beers.
So ask for BG because you'll always have some.
Oh yeah.
You damn right. Uncle Max, where can everyone find you and Brasserie Generale? So
Brasserie BG, Brasserie Urbaine on Instagram, Facebook. We have 2 locations, one in Limoilou and the main core of the business. The main brewery is at Charlebourg. So BG, Brasserie Urbaine, Charlebourg, Facebook, Instagram, Quebec City. You can find us mainly at La Canette and some other beer stores.
Mostly La Canette.
Mostly La Canette. And get the food. If you're in Limoilou,
50% of our production goes to La Canette.
And the dog.
Grizzly's happy. Grizzly's happy.
What a fucking cutie. Oh my goodness. I want a dog so bad, bro. Oh, look at these fucking cheeks. Okay, I just said it. Gab, where can everyone find you online?
Mostly on Instagram. I don't really post on Facebook, but if you are only on Facebook, you can find me. So Hoppy Bitch and Instagram. And I am on OnlyFans too, but I just put some shower beer picture.
That's it.
Good idea, actually.
And once again, Gab has not received a dick pic, and if anyone wants to,
please do not send me Jesus picture.
Not Jesus. If anything, do not say she is. Like, we're not about the Lord. She does not bangs with the Lord. Okay. We don't bangs with the Lord, only the baby Jesus. Speaking of the baby Jesus, Matthew, where can everyone find you, sir?
You can find me at voxandhops.com. That's VOXANDHOPS.com. I drop at least 1 episode a week, typically 2. I hang out with metal musicians from around the globe. Over 300 episodes for you to check out. I hang out with them. I talk about their life, music, and craft beer. I drop at least a collab a month. That's not true.
He pays for them.
It is though.
I like creating beers, so you might be able to find some coming up very soon. I'm sponsoring a tour called Devastation on the Nation, which is a very cool tour going through the states where there are some Vox and Hops beers that are coming out in many of the cities, and you'll be able to enjoy them at the show or at after parties or pre-show parties. Check out the Vox and Hops website for more details about that.
Love it. And Mr. Forrest.
Well, you can find me on beerism.ca. the actual site or online on various social media platforms as Beerism.
Wonderful. And wow, that was very straightforward.
Yes.
If anyone has any plugins for fireworks or any sort of lights, Noah would be interested in acquiring things. It's what he does. So
If I can start doing live fireworks, like within
Pyrotechnics?
I'll hire you. I hire you on tour, dude, as soon as I can.
Right.
No question.
I've only done pyro once on stage. It was fucking intense.
Yeah, I bet it was cool as shit. We should talk about that one.
It
In
didn't look as
Austria,
good as like a black background.
Austria.
though.
It was really sick.
Was the background black?
It was dark, so yes.
So it was basically a
That's
Beerism photo.
so good.
And everyone, yes, thank you so much for watching. And actually, everyone stick around after this, and we'll say goodbye after we finish recording. But thank you so much for watching and listening. If you enjoyed the episode, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you know when the new drops. Follow us on social media at Biere with Podcast. Check out the long form audio. We are everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Give us them 5 stars if you are a legend. That would be appreciated. We will see you guys in the next episode. Get it in ya.